Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is deadline day. We're ready to go. Who is feeling ready for the new season? The wait is finally over. 3 hours to go until deadline. I might put the timer on screen as well so we can have a proper countdown. Guys, I'm excited. I'm very, very excited today because it is deadline day. Oh, how are we feeling? Are we ready to go? I know I am. Oh, I'm pacing, guys. I'm pacing. We're going to have some good energy today. I can feel it. It's a good day. We're feeling it. We're feeling it. How are we looking with our teams? Are we looking good? Are we prepared? Or are we still feeling a little bit nervous? Is there still big decisions to be made? Mason in the chat says Gross. I don't know if he's talking about Pascal Gross or my football shirt. Maybe he's a Spurs fan. I don't know. But what I do know is I'm quite excited. Come on, guys. Let's play some FPL. Let's play some FPL. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. Right. I was meant to do 2 streams today. I'll be honest. I was going to do 2 streams. I was going to be one earlier and one today. But I have to apologise. So I did promise 2 streams. However, my Siri's talking to me. However, I was up till like 5 a.m. last night trying to get today's video. So I had a bit of a lay-in. I can't lie to you guys. I had a lay-in. Yeah, slept till about 10:30. Got up, did all of the prep for today's stream. Went to Greg's. Got a Greg's. Got a Lucasade Sport, which I'm still battling through. Played 1 game of FIFA whilst I was catching up on some other FPL podcasts, and we are here. We are here. We really are. So let's see in the chat how everyone is feeling today. Carl is nervous but excited. Is it a nervous day? Are we feeling it's a bit of a nervous day? Who else we got? Gorillo says Greg's the only essential. I mean, pretty essential. Anytime I have like, not a day off, but like a couple of hours free in the middle of the day, I might nip down to Greg's. I may as well. Let's check out who else is in the chat here as well. We've got our mods, Jeremy and Joe are here. Of course, if you have not seen already, we've got Joe's fixture. I don't even want Joe. What are we calling it? Fixture widget. And on there, I know it's very small. If you are on a big screen, amazing. If you're watching me on TV, yay, mum, I made it. I'm a TV star. But also, if you're on mobile, you can zoom in. You can zoom in on your mobile as well. Just go. And you can get a bit of a close-up on that because I appreciate it is kind of small. But what this is showing you is for each fixture. So we've got obviously the top fixture is Arsenal versus Coventry. And you can see, hang on, right... I'm trying to get my finger in the right place. Right here, you have Arsenal's projected goals and clean sheet odds. And on the Coventry side, again, projected goals and clean sheet odds. So Arsenal, 2.6 projected goals. This updates live as well, by the way. So if there's any like changes, we'll know immediately. If Arsenal's projected goals suddenly drop, that probably means a big striker's not playing. And if like their clean sheet odds suddenly drop, we'll know immediately. That there's probably a big defender missing or something like that as well. Like if this suddenly goes to 50% clean sheet odds, maybe Raya's picked up an injury in the warm-up or something like that, or on the bus. Does that happen? Get injured falling off the bus? I'm sure it has happened to someone at some level of football, to be honest. So yeah, that's right there. Joe says only downside of the ticker is that now I can't forget about how their clean sheets percentages are still slowly falling. Are they? I've not really kept an update, Joe. We'll have a look at your website in full and we'll see the live projection. But 55% seems pretty high. That's like one of the highest clean sheet odds I have ever seen for a game of football. So like it is unbelievably high clean sheet odds for Arsenal. Getting called Bellerin in the chat. That's a throwback. Used to get called Bellerin or Martinelli. More Bellerin these days because of the tash, I guess. But there we go. Deadline is 6:30 UK time. Yeah, it is. I need to sort out the timer still. I'm going to do that now, actually. If you just bear with me one moment, and we'll get the the countdown going. I think it's still showing the time from back when I was doing World Cup Fantasy. Which feels like forever ago now, World Cup Fantasy. Did any of you guys play? Were any of you guys playing World Cup Fantasy or just me? So, right, let's just get rid of the 8 and then we'll add the new timer. And I see you guys have got loads of questions. I will get to them in one moment. I just want to get this script. The final third says, yeah, I got top 50k. Nice. Kabalash top 1k in World Cup Fantasy. Kings played. Poop Nukem played as well. Great name. Great name. Right, so how many minutes until deadline? So 3 hours is 180 minutes minus 6 minutes. No, 5 minutes really. 175. So if I go like that and make sure that's showing on everything actually. Wait, I'm going to have to reset. Hang on, guys. Hang on, guys. I know lots of things are happening right now, but I just need to make sure I'm going on all of my things to make sure the deadline is showing on all of my pages. There we go. Right. And it's going to be like about that. And get rid of the... Yeah, I probably should have organised this before, but to be fair, I just kind of forgot. 2 timers at once. Don't worry. The timer is going to be fixed. So I'm waiting for the... I'm going to keep resetting my timer until it's about right. Oh, dearie me. But yeah, this timer is going to be incredibly accurate by the time I'm done with it. Don't you worry about that. Right, there we go. Cool. It's like, depending on how laggy you are, it might be like 1 or 2 seconds off, but we're all good. Righty-ho, guys. Let's check out this team then. Let's have a look at my team. This is where I'm at right now. I think there are 2 potential changes. One I'm almost certainly not going to do before deadline because, quite frankly, I'm not brave enough. And that is Rushworth in for Petrovic. I just cannot see myself being brave enough to go triple Coventry defence. Plus, I do think the fixtures, if you did want to delay the wild card a bit until like game week 5, you could play Petrovic against Brentford at home in the week that Lamans plays Man City at home. And then, you know, Lamans is going to be fine again after that. But it does cover you for game week 4 if you did want to postpone the wild card for one more week. And I just cannot see myself going back into Coventry defence for Brighton. Yeah, I think with Coventry defenders, early season, until we've got a real clear idea on them, you've got to have a real good fixture, like Hull at home, before trusting them. So that's kind of where I'm at. The other potential change is Sharda, who has made a late appearance into my team. I'm not really sure where he came from, to be honest. Where did he come from? Germany. He came from Germany. But I'm not sure where he came from in terms of why he's suddenly in my team, other than I was just basically... I keep going back to the same draft, and I have done for the last 3 weeks. But it's a kind of a case of Sangare and Wirtz or Szoboszlai and Sharda. Either way, I'm picking a safe pick and an exciting pick. And I think I'd rather take the exciting pick from Brentford, I think. Because I see both Sharda and Szoboszlai as fairly high upside picks. Whereas Sangare, really reliable and definitely a player I want to own long term. But this is, you know, an early wildcard strategy is not a long term strategy. So, and also Sharda's underlying numbers were just brilliant last season. And I like the fixtures. So you've got Spurs, Leeds and Sunderland, first 3. So he's playable in all 3. I don't actually know if I'll play him in game week 1 though. For me, it'd be between Sharda and Calvert-Lewin to start in game week 1. And I can't decide which one I want to go for. I think Brentford probably will score more goals against Spurs, and I think that fixture maybe suits Sharda a little bit more, but Calvert-Lewin, penalty taker, and that's always like a big consideration. I do think Forest will be a good defence this season though. I really have a good feeling about them. I really do. Who's the better shot between Sharda and Dango? Probably marginally Dango. But Dango's 0.5 more expensive. It's the same as like Sobslai and Vert. Vert is probably marginally better, in my opinion, but he's 0.5 more. So if you're trying to save money, like, it's pretty easy way to do so. Tull with the super chat says, why Lamans over Maguire? Great content. Thank you for the content compliment. The reason why Lamans over Maguire is because I like Calafiori. He's like non-negotiable. I really like Aya. Someone in the chat said, do you think Aya is troublesome? There we go. This is Dev. Aya could be a troublesome pick. Vandenberg is back in a few weeks, quicker than we expected. But again, early wildcard kind of sorts that out, doesn't it? And I don't think Vandenberg is going to be back, like, you know, he's not going to be back before like game week 4, is he? But yeah, why Lamans over Maguire? It's because Maguire doesn't really fit in my structure. I like Calafiori, I like Aya, and I like Ballard. And if I was to swap out Aya, Ballard, you know, for the same defenses, I'd get a goalkeeper with basically less goal. Well, I'd get less goal threat. I believe Ballard has better goal threat than Maguire. And I also think both Ballard and Aya have better DEFCON potential than Maguire as well. I think Maguire, from a defensive contribution perspective, is being overrated. But I do appreciate that Maguire does have goal threat. I definitely appreciate that. But I think Ballard has slightly more, and I think Ballard has more. Why is Siri trying to answer everything? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Siri today. It really wants to talk to me. So yeah, that's the reason why. That's the reason why. It's just structurally, I prefer Ballard and Aya. But if I was going for, you know, one Coventry defender, for example, I'd probably lose a Coventry defender, pick up a Manchester United defender, and maybe switch out Lamans. But like, honestly, I'm seeing people with Kinski in their team, Verbruggen in their team. Who else? Kinski, who are the big ones? It's mostly Kinski and Verbruggen, right? And I just find myself struggling to be convinced by these guys and struggling to be convinced by their clean sheets. So I'd rather lock the clean sheets with Hull, Ipswich, Everton in the first 3, with Lamans in goal, and then I can have the defenders I actually really want with the attacking threat and with the defensive contributions as well. So that's why Lamans over Maguire. A few more super chats to catch up with here. Habdabi says, Shaw versus Aya. Who? I think if I could only pick one, I would probably lean towards Shaw over Aya. But if you can find a way of tripling up on Manchester United without Shaw and keep Aya, then yeah. But in a head-to-head battle, if you know you're either going double United and Aya or triple United with Shaw, then I'd rather have that triple up, particularly if you're planning an early wildcard. Particularly. Neil with a super chat here says, Dan, I followed you for a few years and followed your teams. Do you think you'll change anything on game week 1? I'm considering swapping Sharda out for Tavernier. That's the change that I might make. And then I can bench Tavernier for the Man City game and play him in game week 2 and 3. So that will be Everton and Newcastle. So that's something I am thinking about. What else we got here? Accuracy says, what's your opinions on Solis, or was it Jolis? Someone told me how to pronounce his name correctly. Any Greeks in the chat who can confirm the pronunciation? Is it Jolis? But anyway, what are your opinions on Jolis? I am bench boost game week 2. I like him. If I could find 0.5 million, I'd pick him over Sharda. But I can't. But I can't find it. I can't find it anywhere. Where is it? I don't know where I'm going to pull 0.5 from. I'm already like stretched fairly thin. Which is like, I guess, just a compromise you make if you're going both Bruno and Haaland. And, you know, and going for bench boost too as well. Someone said I missed a super chat. I don't think I've missed any. Double check. Tell's done. Davi's done. Neil. Accuracy's done. Yeah, I think we're all up to date. Unless one came in earlier. They did not. No, we're good. We're good. Okie dokie, guys. Let's check out some questions in the chat today. See what you guys are saying. What's your team name? I haven't really got a good team name. every year I just put something boring like FPL Mate on YouTube just to try and get some promo, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I need to think of a good name. I answered the super chat right after I sent the message. Sorry. I was just working through the super chats, my friend. I do apologise. I'm going Rico Lewis. That's brave, man. That's very brave. Thoughts on Richarlison? I think Richarlison's okay for a bench boost 1 strategy, not for a bench boost 2 strategy. I think there's certain players that I think if you have like a 20% chance, or you think there's a 20% chance that the player will leave the Premier League, there's probably a good sign that then, you know, you probably shouldn't count on them beyond game week 1. But if you're going for a game week 1 bench boost strategy, you know, you're not worried about the long-term implications, you're planning an early wild card, maybe game week 3 wild card, then yeah, I think that brings players like Richarlison back into play. It brings players like Njai back into play as well, because he could be leaving, but also faces Manchester United in game week 3. So that's not an ideal fixture. So if you're planning a really early wild card, then Njai works a little bit better. Why Petrovic over Kinski? Kinski has worse fixtures than Petrovic in game week 2, where I would want to play my bench boost, because this is a bench boost game week 2 team. Yeah, I would rather take Petrovic versus Everton at home than Kinski versus someone. Who is it? Is it Newcastle? Who was it? Newcastle Spurs game week 2? Let's check this. Remind myself. Go to the fixtures. Yeah, it's Spurs Newcastle game week 2. So yeah, I'd rather take Petrovic versus Everton. I'd actually rather take Rushworth against Hull, to be honest, but I don't want to triple up. Hi mate, what's your club manager league ID? Oh yeah, good point. I put a link in the description if you want to join my club thingy. Hang on, I'll just show you if I'm going to talk about it. Let's get it up. I'll show you my team as well. I can't believe how popular club is now. Like, it's actually crazy how many people are playing club at this point. It's nuts. But you know what? I kind of get it. I kind of get it now because I'm absolutely hooked. Might open some packs today. I've got a few gems. So I might be very tempted. Right, here we go. Oh, bit delayed. Okay, why can't we see this? Let's find this. That's not what we want. We want the iPhone. There we go. Huzzah! Okay. So, this is my club. This is my club. If you want to try this out, by the way, guys, there's a link in the description if you're not. But like, so everyone's playing this already, aren't they? Everyone's playing this already. Should I open some packs on it? So this is my team right now. Like, it's not like a god squad because I only started playing this summer, but it's not bad. It's not bad. Carl with the super chat says, is Calafiorian and Burmo to Gabriel and Gross crazy? I really want Burmo. I don't think it's totally crazy. But, like, it's not something I would consider doing personally. Can you go no Bruno? Maybe. You like this lineup? It's not too bad, considering I haven't spent a penny on this game. I think it's genuinely not bad. But I am going to spend some... I've been collecting gems. I think I'll spend them now and try and just get... I think I've got enough room in my squad for, like, maybe one more big player. So, I might rattle through a couple of Manny players. Let's do that. See what we can get here. We need better than that. Oh, could be onto something here. Oh, come on then. Oh, it's a contract extension. You know what? I mean, I'll take it. I think Maddison genuinely could do okay this season. I think he could be a really interesting guy. What about Cunha? Is he good with Mbeumo in the team? Man United fans, back me up a little bit here. I'm going to need you guys to back me up. There is kind of a bit of a notion that that actually we might see Cunha on the bench in game week 1, just because he's not really played in preseason. And when he did come on, he wasn't really looking up to speed, to be honest. Maybe not quite ready. So I think there is a very high chance it's Dorgu on the left wing for Manchester United in game week 1. So just be aware of that one if you are going for Cunha. Can we back me up here? Sam Val's backing me up. Yeah. King says yeah as well. Zebdu says yeah. I think Dorgu starts over Cunha. Oh, Hall is actually decent. I'm going to keep him. Yeah, so that is a problem with Cunha. You just can't guarantee his minutes in game week 1. And arguably, the whole game is Ipswich or at home or Hull away the better fixture. I'm not sure. But regardless, you lose one of the best fixtures and you're left with Ipswich and Everton away potentially after that. And the fixtures after that is like Man City, so it does get worse. Oh, is this a sign? Is this a sign? I think it genuinely could be a sign to go for Sharda. Let's leave him on the screen. Like, using the random player generator, we've got Sharda here. Anyway, let's rattle through some more super chats here, guys. We've got Jared says Lamans, Calla, Dewsbury, or Raya Maguire and Enzo Lefebvre. Ooh. I think I actually maybe prefer Raya Maguire, Enzo Lefebvre, but only on an early wildcard strategy. If you want to try and like delay the wildcard for longer, but then saying that, Lamans and Calafiori are kind of more early wildcard kind of players. I'm going to say Raya Maguire, Lefebvre to that one. I don't think the drop-off between Dewsbury Hall and Enzo Lefebvre is huge. But saying that, if you were to say, offer me Lamans, Calafiori, and Solis, then I would maybe say that. Lamans, Calafiori, Solis, I like more as a combo, I guess. Sam says Gabriel and Jai, Thiago, or O'Reilly, Solis, or and Isak. Let's say... I like them both. I honestly like them both. I'm gonna go for O'Reilly, Solis, and Isak, though, because I think that's more exciting. So I'm going to go with the more exciting. Gabriel and Jai, Thiago is the sensible choice. O'Reilly, Solis, and Isak is the exciting choice. Patton says pick two, Xhaka, Vuskovic, Mihremovic. I would pick Xhaka and Mihremovic. I like Vuskovic a lot for the long term, but I don't think he starts in game week 1. And I think that's a big appeal of going for a Brighton defender, is trying to get him in game week 1. So there we go. That's what I'd probably say on that. But anyway, guys, I'm going to... Should I take him? What's the salary? I would go over budget if I took him. Maybe I'll decide later on that. I might decide on him when I wrap up the stream. But anyway, guys, that is club. If you are playing, I've left a link to play the game and the code to my mini league in the stream description if you want to join my mini league. I know a lot of you guys are already playing. At the very least, join my league. Come on, guys. It's got to be done. Let's get back to FPL regardless, guys. Oh, and Super Chat's arrived on screen just in time. Moonshield Gaming says, what about Saka and Voltemada? I would say I would go for neither. Voltemada, I'm not really expecting to start in Game Week 1, to be honest. And I don't even know if he starts long term. You know, new manager brings new problems for all players. And it looks so far that maybe Wissa and Osula are the preferred duo kind of in the front two positions. So I think Voltemada is going to be kind of a bit part player for the start of the season. Saka, I don't expect him to start in Game Week 1 either. Bit worried about his minutes, to be honest. I am a bit worried about his minutes. But, like, his minutes will come good. It's just not immediately. And, like, the money game is Coventry. With Arsenal, if you're picking Arsenal players, the money game is Coventry in Game Week 1. So you need someone who you can depend on to play in Game Week 1, which is what kind of writes off players like Rice and Bruno G, because there is some question marks about their availability. I think Rice actually more likely to play than Bruno G at this point, judging by Arteta's press conference comments. So it's very difficult to say for sure about some of these Arsenal picks when you need them ready for Game Week 1. Because game week 2 and 3, not as good. You know, Aston Villa, Chelsea. You know, Aston Villa maybe not the worst fixture at the moment, but particularly if Arsenal have pinched Konsa off them, which looks like that's pretty much secure at this point. Maniac Stark says, love your vids. Our knee any good for game week 2 bench boost? You take a little bit of a risk on him integrating immediately into the team. So it is risky. It's high risk, high reward, our knee. It's not something I would go for. It would have the potential to ruin my day if you know, you find him on the bench. But I think he's a really interesting pick. I wish that he had signed for Coventry a couple of weeks earlier, so we could have maybe seen him in a friendly or two, and get a better idea on his minutes, because right now it's tentative. The problem is if you just look at the Coventry, I know there is obviously the injury to what's his name, Wright, but we've still got Sims and Thomas Asante there. So even if our knee is starting by game week 2, is he playing 90? Don't know. So I think I'm going to leave that one personally. Not really the kind of move I'm looking to make. Irvin says, if Maresca says today Haaland is not ready to play 90 minutes, would you go no Haaland? I would possibly have to rethink a lot, yeah. But like, I really don't want to go no Haaland, because no Haaland means I basically am committed to wildcarding in game week 3. Because I don't like the free hit 3 strategy. I don't think it resolves enough. Because I want to play an early wildcard, and an early free hit and an early wildcard at the same time seems like overkill, and you're not getting the full power out of those chips if you're using them in tandem. So do I really want to wildcard in 3? No. So I'm really basically hoping that Haaland is ready to play 90, to be honest. But is Maresca going to be that obvious? I don't know. I would like to have Haaland for the start of the season. I really would. Super sticker from Aria. Yeah, I don't know if you meant to put a message there. Like, the chat is weird. It only lets you put a message in at a certain point. FPL Joe says, removing our knee, unfortunately, currently on 4 times Coventry. I'd love him for bench boost 2, but I can't keep it because it forces next transfer to be a Coventry one. So a game week 1 injury ruins it. That's a really good point as well. If you are going quad on anything, really. Marmouche is leaving anyway. I mean, yeah, like, that's a really good point. If Marmouche leaves Man City, who plays as the striker when Haaland is unavailable? I guess Semenyo. That could be interesting. If Haaland gets an injury, would it be Semenyo playing as the striker? That could be an unreal pick. Giandro's got a super chat here for us. Hi, Dan. I'm on bench boost 2. Which do you prefer? Human Lefay, Ballard, and Xhaka / Sangare, or White and Santos? I probably prefer Ballard and Sangare, to be honest. If that means taking out Sharda and replacing him with Tavernier, then so be it. But yeah, I prefer Ballard and Sangare, I think. You could maybe go Ballard and Xhaka, but like, unless you're wildcarding in game week 3, I wouldn't want to go too overkill on Sunderland just because they play Brentford in 3. So I wouldn't want to go too hard on that. They can't go into the season with 1 striker. You would think they would sign a new striker, wouldn't you, Ray? You would think. Fantasy Football Hub says start O'Shea over Aya. Oh, yeah, game week 1, I would start O'Shea over Aya, yeah. I'd agree with that. Here for FPL says, it's time, Dan. I hope you slept well after the long night's work. 5.5 hours sleep. It's workable. It'll be an early night for me tonight, though. How do you feel about Buendia? I don't like the fixtures, if I'm honest. I don't love the fixtures. Away against Brighton, and then home against Arsenal, and then I like 3. 3's Hull, isn't it? I like him in 3. But like by that point, is Manzambi going to be, you know, taking that place as the attacking midfielder? Is that the attacking midfielder kind of being viewed as the long-term solution to the attacking midfield position for Aston Villa? Like that's presumably why Manzambi was bought, to play behind the striker. So that takes a position away from Buendia potentially there. Unless Manzambi's going to play deeper. Don't know. There is potential. Hi Dan, YouTube is playing adverts every 3 to 4 minutes over your live feed. That should not be happening. Let me fix that. Let me fix that for you guys immediately. I think it's because I copied the settings from a really old live stream, so maybe that's why. Let's go to stream settings and edit that. So there's no more YouTube ads. But don't worry. Okay, I've set it to manual ads. Don't worry, there'll still be like ads from me talking about club and 21 goals and Fantasy Football Hub, but like that's because they're good. That's because they're good. Buendia could play off the right. Yeah, I know, but like, can we really see McGinn on one side and Buendia on the other? Like, where is the pace coming from? I don't know. It could be the slowest front line of all teams. So I don't know if you can guarantee that. I think that's the problem. But they're saying that Aston Villa are lacking in the wing department. So maybe that's exactly what they need. Who knows? Alistair says Sangare from Brentford or Gross. Bench boost 1, wildcard 6. Gross. For that strategy, Gross, I would say. Jake is here, says, hi Dan, what are you doing for more Man City players from Game Week 3 and who would it be? And also, I have got a 6 million for a midfielder. I'm on bench boost 1 and already got Gross. I don't know if I'll get another Man City player for Game Week 3, to be honest. I might. I'm going to just see how it plays out, to be honest, over the first few game weeks. But the obvious route is Mbermo to like a Cherky or something like that. Or actually, he could go Anderson. Don't know if I love that. But like, if I'm planning on wildcarding in Game Week 4 anyway, I think I would rather just skip the transfers entirely. Like, my team is going to be fine for Game Week 3. I'll have good players. I might not have Man City players, but I'll have good players. And I'll have Haaland already, which is the most important thing. Villa taking the biggest drop in projected goals of any team this week. I'm not surprised with the Watkins rumoured exit now. Rob says, hi Dan, I've got 4 cheap defenders, Shaw, Coventry, Aya, with Raya and Petrovic with bench boost 2 in mind. Would you downgrade Raya and upgrade defence or leave as is? I'd leave it as it is. Unless, have you got Calafiori in there as well? If you've got Calafiori as well, then, and you've got double Arsenal defence, I like that. Quite like that. Irvin Modern says, can you explain what's wrong with Game Week no Haaland, using 2 free transfers to get him in Game Week 3 and then wildcard 4? It's just a very heavy use of transfers. And I think if you are going for an early wildcard, the idea is that you make up for the fact that you're using that up your wildcard by having that contingency plan that you've got spare transfers banked for if something does go wrong. Because a lot of people are really fearful of this 3-week-long international break, whether there will be injuries or anything that happens in there. There is a chance you might have 1 or 2 in your team, but if you have 3 or 4 free transfers saved up by that point, that is a very easy situation to deal with. If you use your transfers and also early wildcard, suddenly you're in a situation whereby you have no contingency plan. You're it's so short-term thinking that you could screw you later down the line. The whole, a huge advantage of this, you can now roll up to 5 free transfers, is that it makes an early wildcard more powerful in a way, because you can actually, by wildcarding earlier, you're basically saying, okay, all the transfers I would have made or I plan on making, I'm just going to do them all at once using my wildcard, and the transfers I will essentially use for a mini wildcard later down the line should I need it. So that's kind of the logic there, why using multiple transfers. doesn't work. But the exception to that is if you actually are not planning on early wildcarding and you're kind of categorically saying, I'm not going to use my my wildcard early. Giandre says, I would then just wildcard in Game Week 3. Too right. The only thing is with wildcard in Game Week 3 is that you enter into Game Week 4 with 2 transfers. Concept announced by AFC. Is it been officially announced? Huge if so. Huge if so. Let's have a look. Let's see if you're right. Let's Twitter up. Arsenal. Why is it so wide? Okay. Well. It's officially announced. There you go. Gotta watch the announcement video, guys. I'm afraid. I might even put the volume on. What's up with Kluivert? Looks good, you know. Kluivert looks good. I think he could be a bit of a surprise package. Not sure if I'm willing to take the risk on him, but Kluivert looks nice. Wow. He's ready. Number 15. That's an Oxlade-Chamberlain number if I've ever seen one. Taking the mantle from Oxlade-Chamberlain. And there you go. Why not Hume over Ballard? I think with the potential return of Mukiele means one less position for for Hume to potentially play, because Hume was always like seen as a low risk player because he can either play at right back or right wing, potentially even left back. However, if Mukiele is available, then Mukiele is playing. I need to mute that. Then Mukiele is playing in the right back position, no doubt about it, as long as the centre back is covered as well. Which means 09 is then a right winger or on the bench. And I don't know which one it's going to be. Then add to that, Ballard has a really good defensive contribution rate and genuine like goal threat from set pieces. So for that reason, I just think Ballard is the objectively better pick. And I think the upgrade from Hume to Ballard is significant enough. If you're just looking to cover clean sheets, you know, maybe that's a little different. But like, I'm not picking Ballard because I'm just looking to cover Sunderland clean sheets. I'm picking him because I really genuinely like him as a pick. Finley says, got Pascal and Njai. Who do I start game week 1? Have you got Calvert-Lewin? Because if so, I would genuinely bench Calvert-Lewin ahead of Gross and Njai. I'd play Gross and Njai ahead of Calvert-Lewin. I possibly play him ahead of... Well, I don't know what other forwards people are using. But like certainly, if I had to choose between Gross and Njai for game week 1, I would maybe choose... You know, I don't know. Njai, maybe? I think. Kai Nelson says no early bench boost, so Kinski or Verbruggen start. Or Kinski or Verbruggen? Verbruggen's better for game week 1. Kinski's better for game week 2, I guess. So if you're only using one or the other, I think Kinski probably... Is that even true? Who actually has the better fixtures? Fixture analyzer on Hub. All right, Kinski or Verbruggen. Let's actually try and... Did you say, is it an early wild card or not? Or if you want to keep your options open, I guess we need to go into the future a little bit. So it's really... Brighton just have those tricky fixtures of Chelsea away in 2, Arsenal at home in 5, and then 8 and 9 are obviously terrible. Liverpool away, Man City away. Who, on balance, you'd probably say that Kinski has the better fixtures. Even if it does mean going for a slightly weaker goalkeeper in game week 1. So let's go Kinski. For those reasons. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with that answer. Anything meaningful come out of the press conferences? Not that I've seen. It depends. I mean, we could just do a press conference summary, to be fair. But whenever I do those, people just get bored. I don't think people like press conference summaries. Let's do a really, really quick one. But it depends on who's in your team, I suppose. Where are the press conferences? Come on, Hub. You've usually got a nice roundup for us. Maybe not. Unless I'm not seeing it. Oh, here we go. It was right. It was the first one. All right, let's do okay, we've got keynotes here, so we can just go over those. So the keynotes are Doku is injured. We knew that. Well, hopefully you guys knew that. But yeah, Doku is out for a few weeks. Bruno Guimaraes is a doubt as well. We mentioned that earlier. Ezri Konsa signing could impact the minutes of Christian Mosquera. Yeah, we knew that. So again, there's nothing new. Unless you've kind of not been following. Yeah, Konsa has just signed for Arsenal. Ayer is expected to start in defence for Brentford with Sepp van den Berg out for a few weeks. So yeah, if you're planning an early wild card, Ayer is absolutely fine. Coventry's Haji Wright absent for 12 weeks while bids are expected for Ellis Sims. Oh, I missed that. I missed that bit. So that actually is good for Awoniyi. I missed that one. Kai Nelson, thank you very much for becoming a member of the channel, my friend. Mucho appreciado. And potential defensive contribution, Magnet, Sangare, Mihramovic, and Vuskovic tipped to start with the Leeds. Nah, that's speculative. That's speculative. We got a few more bits of notes here. Dean Henderson is out for Palace. Don't know if you guys knew that. Munoz heavily linked with a transfer to Everton. So he's going to be massively doubtful. Norgard has got an injury, might not be ready. So, which is a real shame. I thought Norgard was going to be a brilliant pick for the start of the season, but unfortunately the injuries kind of scuppered that. Anderson suspended. Krupa Jr. is out for several months. And Burmo expected to start up front, whilst Sheshko works his way back from a shin complaint. Kinski will start the season as Spurs #1. And Mukiele and Alderete are doubts to start for Sunderland, but expected to be in the squad. Is that right? Let's go to Sunderland. Let's find it. Okay. No, that's Ipswich. Here we go. So, Nordia and Omar are also okay. Yeah, this is what I read, that they're okay. So yeah, I mean, does that imply? To me, that implied that there's a high chance that they start. To be honest, is there any more on that? We'll see for the game time because they aren't all at the same levels of fitness, but we'll see. Yeah, well, Lebriz not really helping us. We will see. Sounds like Pep Guardiola to me. That sounds like the kind of chat that Pep Guardiola might thrust upon us. What sort of season do you think Conor Gallagher will have? I mean, let's see how he starts. But, like, I think James Maddison, as soon as he's back up to fitness, will take his place in the starting 11. Very unlikely that Alderete goes straight in. How unlikely, though? Like, I think it's enough to put us off 09, though, isn't it? It's enough to put us off 09. You'd probably say. Opinion on Mihramovic? I like him as a pick. I do like him as a pick. I don't know if he's, like, essential, but certainly a player to have on the watch list, isn't he? Shaw and Cavadio or Maguire and Mihramovic? Ooh, Mihramovic may be a little lower risk. Or is it? You know what? I'm going to say Shaw and Gavadio. Let's go for the exciting one. Josemite or Josemite? Is that how you say that? Josemite. Good if so. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Although there must have been a super chat that was meant to go alongside that money spent. I'm going to keep an eye out for your message in the chat. Josemite. Leave a message in the chat and I'll keep an eye out for it. I at 6'6", right? but has low goal threat, supposedly ticks every other box. I don't know if he does have does he have a low goal threat? I just don't think he's shown it in a like a Sunderland shirt, maybe Sunderland Brentford. Let's go on FOTMob, because as far as I'm aware, his attacking numbers were somewhat there at the World Cup, but we'll verify that. Maybe I've made that up. Let's say there's a World Cup numbers. Maybe not. 0.05 xg. So he only really took a couple of shots the whole tournament. 2 shots, yeah. 2 headers. But that is like, that's in, for centre backs, that's in the 80th percentile, which seems reasonably high. Here we go. Josemity says, thanks, mate. Was meant to be. Have you spoken about Richarlison or De Kuiper at all? Currently have both on bench boost 1, wildcard 4, benching in 2 and 3. Well, listen, if you're benching both in 2 and 3, I don't have a big problem with them. But, like, yeah, I think everyone, the big concern with Richarlison is that he may not be available to play in Game Week 2 because he might not be at the club. And, you know, Solanke, whilst he might not be available for Game Week 1, I don't think it's going to be long before Solanke is available. So, yeah, as a punt, and it would be a punt, it would be a Game Week 1 punt. If you think that Brentford away fixture is good enough to go for that punt, then fine. But if I'm punting on a Game Week 1 striker, I'm maybe more tempted by like a Brobby at 6, or who else would be a punt? Like a Barry, 5.5 Barry at Everton. I think those would also have to be in the punt category. So that's kind of the level you're at with those kind of picks. But like, it's fine as a punt. De Kuiper is interesting because he's expected to play at left wing. But again, because Brighton have to go full strength in the second leg of their European qualifier, does that mess with the minutes of certain players? Maybe. The Kuiper's quite versatile, I suppose. So play left wing, left back. I don't know. I wasn't impressed with Brighton versus Tromsø, to be honest. I wasn't impressed with them. They gave up a lot of chances. And I know Aston Villa are, you know, in a sorry state of affairs. That does worry me a little bit. So, yeah, look, they're both, you know, solid picks that come with their risks. But, like, that's just the price point, isn't it? That's the price point. Let's get back to Aya. Let's see how bad his attacking numbers really are. Why does everyone ignore Saka? Because he's kind of 50-50 whether he's going to even start in Game Week 1. So that's why we're ignoring Saka. And I'm not saying that lightly. I am saying I'm avoiding Saka because I'm not sure he's going to start. I'm saying that with Saka literally on the back of my shirt. I'm saying that. So this is not like an anti-Saka thing or a bias. Thoughts on Njai and Ben White and Calafiori? Good luck. Njai, great if you need someone just for Game Week 1 and possibly Game Week 2. If you need him for Game Week 3 as well, I wouldn't go for him. Calafiori I like a lot. Decent attacking threat, and I think he's the left back of choice. Ben White, I think, is interrupted by Konsa, because now Konsa is signed. Konsa could play in the right centre-back position. And that actually could potentially push Mosquera out to play as the right back. Like, not really many people are talking about that possibility, but Mosquera has played plenty of times at right back for Arsenal since him signing last season. So that is also a consideration. Like, is White guaranteed minutes when Konsa is playing regularly? Don't know. Might actually be sharing minutes a little bit. So that is a concern. Halnama, thank you very much for the super sticker there. Mosquera or Calafiori or both? Well, certainly at this point, Mosquera is not for me. Is not for me. Let's go back to Aya and check out his stats from last season. So yeah, last season was terrible in the Premier League. But saying that, a lot of that you know, you're throwing Collins and Vandenberg up there, so I am maybe not needed as much in the mix. They've got some tall players, Brentford, as well. FA Cup, nothing. League Cup, nothing. But is this something that's consistent? Yeah, kind of. 0.06 there in the previous season. Year before that, 0.06. So he's a goal every... He's like a 2-goal a season kind of player. That's the kind of level he is. 2 goal per season. But like he got a couple... If I'm correct, he got a couple of assists last season, didn't he, Aya? Let's see here. Oh, 1 assist. Was another one a fantasy assist, maybe? Possibly. But yeah, like, listen, he's not like... for a man of his height, and 196 centimetres is quite tall. I like to think of myself as a fairly tall chap, but I'm not that. Yeah, that is not as much as you expect. But like, will it change? Will the set piece change? The set piece routines change with no Vandenberg in the side? That's the question. And with certain other players kind of missing or swapping out. You're tall. How tall are you? I'm not like crazy. I'm about 6'1", so a little bit lanky, but nothing remarkable. But tall enough. Lexo Flexo says, thanks for looking into it, Dan. I'm confused too, as you'd think he'd be right in the mix for Brentford set pieces. Yeah. Let's see what happens. Let's see. Like, he's one of those players who is so physically dominant that you wouldn't be surprised to see him get on the end of a set piece. But it's far from a guarantee, and we are being speculative here at this point. Comfortable clearance off the 6-foot barrier, plenty. Well, I'm glad you think so. Defo 5'11", if you say so, mate. Honestly, shall I get the tape measure out? Do we need to do this? Do you think Solly starts? I do, yes, I do. Dan, what do we think of Gonzalo Garcia? I'm so glad. I'm genuinely glad you asked, because he is definitely the 6 million striker to look out for. I know everyone's talking about Calvert-Lewin at the moment. People will be talking about Gonzalo at some point in the near future, and I genuinely do think he could... there's potential for him to outscore DCL this season. I think he's that good, and I think he'll be on penalties. Better the tape measure than the ruler. If I only required a ruler, then that would be a lot of trouble, really. Like, you know what's crazy about, like, online? I could genuinely be, I don't know, 10 inches tall. And all of this stuff, these are just like miniatures. You would never know. You have no way of proving that I'm not 10 inches tall. You also have no way of proving that I'm not 30 feet tall. Be a bit more newsworthy, I guess. I wouldn't be able to hide as well. Yeah, I'd probably be on the news if I was 30 feet tall. But you can't prove it either way. I could be 4 apples tall. I could. And you'll never know. Williams versus Ballard. Depends what you want. I think Ballard is a little more reliable and also good for Game Week 2, whereas Williams is not good for Game Week 2. So it depends what you need. I think that's more of a structural question rather than this or that, because I think both are good picks. Get yourself a big Bock lens and pretend you're miniature. Yeah, that sounds fun. Can you explain why Jacques isn't more picked? I guess like his open play attacking threat is kind of non-existent, but that goes for Sunderland as a whole team, to be honest. He has set pieces, but not penalties. And his DEFCON numbers, he gets them sometimes, but it's not like super consistent. So like he's just a typical 5.5 player. He's been priced extremely well at 5.5. At that kind of price, you know, you pick him if you can't find anything you prefer, really. But I imagine for a lot of people, they will prefer other players at 5.5. I prefer Gross. I prefer Sangare at 5.5. But possibly if you're going for a Game Week 1 bench boost strategy, that would lean me slightly more towards Mascara. Oh, sorry, Mascara to Xhaka, but not like definitely. Anyway. Aya or Rodon? Prefer Aya. I do prefer Aya. What do you think of Stack if you don't have DCL? I don't think Stack is tied to DCL at all, other than they happen to play for the same team. Like, from an FPL perspective, I would not be trying to cover DCL with Stack. The way they score FPL points is almost entirely unrelated, or will be almost entirely unrelated. It's not like when Calvert-Lewin scores, you're going to get a Stack assist. You're probably going to get an assist from one of the wingers or fullbacks. More so than a Stack or a set-piece taker, which used to be Stack, but it's now more likely to be Wilson, certainly from one side. So, yeah, I don't see them being tied at all. And I don't really fancy Stack anymore. Now he's not on set pieces. Now that Wilson's signed, he's going to take a lot of the set pieces. I think Stack has become a considerably worse FPL asset. Getting the expensive guys, then fill with Defcon, mid, and defenders. That's the play, man. That's the play. What's my chip strategy? It's going to be bench boost Game Week 2 and looking at an early wildcard, a Game Week 4 wildcard, but like not guaranteed. I want to like leave myself somewhat open to not doing that, but it could go either way. I'm hoping to just use my wildcard, to be honest. I'm excited to use an early wildcard, but I'm open to not. I'm open to leaving it. 2 Arsenal defenders with Gross or Calafiori, O'Reilly, and Gomez. 2 Arsenal defenders with Gross, in my opinion. What do you think of Isak? In a no Haaland structure, I would have Isak 100% of the time. Why is Elliot Anderson not picked? A lot of people are picking Elliot Anderson. A lot of people are. Dan, you were saying Defcon defenders were important, but you only have 2 in your squad. That's because I want to go high upside. Well, actually, I don't have 2 in my squad. I have 3. Aya, Thomas, and Ballard are all Defcon defenders. To kind of back you up, I don't have any Defcon midfielders. So that is valid. And the reason for that is because Defcon points are kind of your long-term tick along. Now, what I'm hoping to do is not go average in the first 3 game weeks before a wild card. I want to go for players who are capable of scoring, those 15-point scores. And I believe players like Sharda is more than capable of doing that, and Burmo's capable of doing that. Szoboszlai is capable of doing that. The strikers are, of course. I think Ballard has a 17-pointer in him. Calafiori, golden assist. Golden clean sheet, definitely can see that. So I'm going for kind of high upside players for the first few game weeks to try and just punt on a big score and hope to get some big scores in the first 3 game weeks. And then after that, I'll go for much more reliable players. I'll probably pick 5 Defcon defenders, probably play with 4 or 5 defenders every single game week. I'll play with more Defcon midfielders. I'll probably go for Sangare. I'll think about players like Ghana, other Defcon defenders, midfielders, sorry. I don't know. To be honest, those guys are cheap, so perhaps I'll take like those 2 guys and spend a lot more money on the kind of premiums around them. But I'm going to spend a lot of money on Defcon defenders in my first wildcard. I'm going to go hard on them. What do you think of the best 5.5 million midfielders? Gross, Sangare. Yeah, I mean, just those 2 are the main ones. Sangare not that hot anymore. No, I still really like him. Ira's a risk. Pinnock's not going to play. Pinnock is not going to play. Vandenberg will when he comes back, but he's not going to be rushed back. It's going to be a few game weeks before we have to worry about that. Is Thomas 100% starting? Yeah, well, look, I'm not going to say 100% on any player in the entire game, but yeah, he's very much first choice, from what I can tell. Why is Gross so good? Not sure about the fixtures. I thought fixtures look okay for Gross. No? Aston Villa are in a bad spot right now. Then Chelsea away, I think is, average. But Leeds at home is a decent fixture. So I like the home fixtures. And like Chelsea away, Chelsea are a much better attack than they are a defence. So I still think there is potential for attackers in that fixture. But yeah, Gross, corner taker, penalty taker. Likes to make a late run, can occasionally get DEFCON. Not very often, but sometimes. Why choose Petrovic over Kinski? Because I'm bench boost game week 2 and Petrovic has a better fixture in game week 2 than Kinski does. Am I bench boosting? Yes, but not until 2. So I'm just to stress for anyone joining in the stream now, I am very much a bench boost 2 guy, not a bench boost 1 guy. And I think a large part of that is because I find it very difficult to create a bench boost 1 team that I'm confident in whilst having Haaland. So in my opinion, if you want a bench boost in game week 1, go for a bench boost 1 wildcard 3 strategy. That for me is the bench boost. And who's this guy talking about strategy? I feel like I'm pretty good when it comes to strategy. Maybe not always executing it, but when it comes to strategy, we always go big on the strategy videos. We always try and work out every single different possibility. And I've tried it. I've tried a lot of different combos. Bench boosting game week 1 works so much better if you go with no Haaland in game week 1 and you wildcard in game week 3. If you are comfortable with doing that, then bench boost in 1 is so doable. However, if you want to go Haaland and Bruno in your team, in almost every scenario, not every scenario because obviously there's always going to be exceptions, but in most scenarios, let's say, bench boost 2 is going to be stronger than bench boost 1 because you have access to Coventry players in bench boost 2 and you don't have that access in game week 1. And furthermore, in fact, let's head over to Joe's website. Furthermore, what we can also see is if we just look at game week 1 and 2 here, and we look at the clean sheets. Sorry, let's reorder that. We look at the clean sheets. In game week 1, teams with decent clean sheet odds, Arsenal, Man United, definitely. Man City, Everton, Forest, to a degree. After that, I mean, you're not even going to be able to have too many Arsenal, Man United, Man City defenders with Haaland in your team. You're not going to have Everton defenders with Haaland in your team because they're too expensive. You can maybe go for Aina, Williams. But yeah, that's kind of your lot in terms of the good. You got some okay ones, Chelsea, Sunderland, Brighton, Ipswich. They're okay, but game week 2 is completely different. We've got Man United, Arsenal again, but we've got Coventry. These guys cost 4 million. You got Bournemouth. You can get Petrovic for 4.5. You got Sunderland. I know people picking Sunderland defenders. They have better clean sheet odds in 2 than 1. I see a lot of people picking Kinski. Spurs have better clean sheet odds in 2 than 1. I see people picking Leeds defenders. Leeds have better clean sheet odds in 2 than 1. So, like, time and time again, when you look through this, the players are just the defenders in particular. And remember, your bench boost is primarily composed of defenders, right? It's usually 1 goalkeeper, 2 defenders, and a midfielder. Typically, not always, but typically. Again, I'm just trying to give an overview, like an overarching idea. Therefore, you need to bench boost on the week with more cheap players with good clean sheet odds. Now, on the other hand, if you go without Haaland, suddenly double Arsenal or triple Arsenal defenses on the cards. Amazing. You're definitely going to get your 1 Man United defender in there. You could probably also afford a Man City defender. You could probably also afford an Everton defender and a Forest defender and a Chelsea defender. And, suddenly things are looking very good. You maybe supplement it with 1 Ipswich defender at 27% clean sheet odds. But with no Haaland, suddenly you have the money to afford a really good defense that is bench boostable. But it kind of requires no Haaland. So there we go, guys. There is my shtick for when it comes to bench boost 1 versus 2. And that's why I'm bench boosting in 2, because I want to have Haaland in my squad, because I don't want a wild card in game week 3. That's not because it's a bad strategy. I think it's a good strategy. It's just not the one that I've chosen. Brentford at home is a tough fixture for Leeds, in my opinion. Yeah, we can call it a tough fixture or a hard fixture or whatever, but like the odds are slightly better at the end of the day, and that's all we care about. That's all I care about. I think Forest away is also a fairly tough fixture for Leeds. That's why they're at 24 and 25% clean sheet odds. For just going to highlight just so you know where I'm talking about here. That's why the clean sheet odds aren't anything crazy. I mean, really, if we're talking about like quote unquote good clean sheet odds, you're looking for 30% minimum, like arbitrarily, but like around there and above is what we would, I think, consider good. So in Game Week 1, the only good ones are Arsenal, Man United, Man City, Everton, and Forest. And if we're looking for cheap, yes, you're going to have a cheap Manchester United defender. Everyone's going to. It's just Forest really outside of that who's like super affordable. Unless you can manage 2 Arsenal defenders. But again, we're cutting corners at that point, aren't we? Why would we play Pascal Gross with Game Week 2 bench boost with Chelsea away? Why not? It's not that bad. It's not that bad. And I think the other point is that I know you're going to say, well, you know, by the way, I do agree that actually you can flip it and say your bench is comprised of 3 defensive players and 1 midfield player. The defenders are obviously more important to prioritise and making sure they're sorted. But the midfielders do have better, if we go to projected goals, for example, the midfielders do have better projected goals in Game Week 1 than 2. A lot of the ones that we're talking about anyway. Brighton, Brentford, maybe Chelsea, maybe not so much. Unless you're going for Bournemouth, who are definitely better in 2. Which I'm still so tempted by Tavernier instead of Sharda. I'm so tempted. So, yeah, no, I will absolutely concede that a lot of the cheap midfielders probably have slightly better odds in Game Week 1 than 2. I mean, there's no slightly about it. Like 1.6 versus 1.34, 1.54 versus 1.4. Yeah, a lot of the cheap, they are better. However, we're talking about 1 midfielder versus 3 defenders or defensive players. And we're also, another real point of contention is that defenders typically are far more reliant on fixtures to score FPL points compared to attackers, where form is far more important. I always say this: form for attackers, fixture for defenders. You know, an in-form, I don't know, well, let's just use Pascal Gross. An in-form Pascal Gross has a better chance of scoring against Man City than an in-form, I don't know, De Kuiper or Kadioglu or Vuskovic has of scoring points against Man City, if that makes sense. Fix is just more important for defenders. Look, but again, this is just my opinion, and you can go around various content creators, and different people are going to have different opinions on things, and that's the beauty of it, really, isn't it? That's the beauty. But I don't mind Gross against Chelsea. I don't mind it. I think it's fine. There's nothing to me to say that Chelsea are suddenly going to be a really strong defence when they haven't been for a while now. Chelsea have always, well, for as long as I can remember at this point, been a great attack. But last few seasons, defensively, just never quite got there. Never quite. And that's kind of been their downfall, I think. That's been their downfall. But anyway, hi Dan. Why having 1 Arsenal player? It's a money thing, man. Honestly, I would love to have Raya. If Raya was 5.5 million, he would be in my squad right now, like without a doubt. I'd get him in immediately. Don't know how I'd do that. I guess I'd do Sharda to Sangare and Lamans to Raya. And maybe even try and find a way to do, or maybe I'd do Ballard to Maguire at that point. So, yeah. My bench is going to be, I mean, let's just save this team. I mean, it's already saved. Let's just show you how it looks right now. One reason I want to go for Tavernier is because I feel like I would be far more comfortable benching Tavernier than I would Sharda. And Tavernier feels like a more reliable pick. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Damien says, hey, mate, should I go for Rare 09, Sangare, or Lamon? Oh, sorry. Rare 09, Sangare, or Lamans, Hume, and Sharda. 09 is risky now, I think, for minutes. But then arguably so is Hume. So I love Rare. I'd love to have Rare in my team. I really would. He's the one Arsenal player who I'm kind of close-ish to getting, but I just don't think it's possible. There's risk with both, Damien. 09 is far more risky than Hume, but Hume carries some risk. For that reason, I'm going to say Lamans, Hume, and Sharda, though. But I would maybe see if you can find another 4.5 million defender you like the look of. Cheers, Dan. You said you prefer Dango over Sharda. That's why. And I prefer Dango over Sharda, I guess, if they were the same price, but they're not. Big fan of Dango and Sharda. Would you swap any of them for Solace? Yeah, if I had an extra 0.5. Yeah, if I had an extra 0.5, I wouldn't upgrade Sharda to Dango. I'd upgrade Sharda to Solace. So there we go. Niels here says, hey, Dan. We're back on the way with FPL and Jai or Lefay, and why? They both fit the same strategy very well. They both are super suited to bench boost 1, wildcard 3. They're both good. I can't split them. I think Njai a little more risky, but a little more exciting. Lefay feels a little safer. Manny has got a super chat here with the Australian dollary dues. Verbruggen, Sherpen, Maguire, Calafiori, Shaw, O'Shea, Mikalenko, Bruno, Solis, Odegaard, Anderson, Foden, Haaland, Gonzalo, Pedro. Good Game Week 1 bench boost team. Yeah, that's, for a Bruno Haaland bench boost team, that is not bad. I mean, you are missing Mbermo, which sets off alarm bells for me. But how do you resolve that? You go Foden to Mbermo and Anderson to Gross. That's how you do it. Yeah. Yeah, so that's an option. If I was to change your team at all, I would go Anderson and Foden, because I don't think Foden starts beyond Game Week 1. I think Cherky comes back in and takes Foden's place. And Anderson is a decent pick, but I think he is sacrificable. So, yeah, I would be happy to say Foden and Anderson to Mbermo and... Wait, have you got... No, you've only got double... I know you got Maguire and Shaw. Yeah, that is a point of contention. Maybe Shaw to Aya in that case. I don't know. Look, it's a good team. And if you like double Man United defense, that's absolutely fine. You have Thomas starting? Oh, no, sorry. I'm absolutely not meant to have Thomas starting. That's my bad. He's meant to be right there. Well spotted, by the way. I'm glad you spotted that. Imagine if I went over deadline with with Thomas. I don't think I would have. I would have double, triple checked it. Lefay instead of Sharda, maybe. I just don't like Lefay for Game Week 3. I don't like the double up for Sunderland away to Brentford in Game Week 3. I'd rather have Sharda in Game Week 2 and 3. Plus, if I had Lefay, who would I then drop? Someone would have to be benched. Calvert-Lewin? I'm going to... I'm so tempted by... Tavernier feels like the more sensible pick in so many ways. Mr. Super Chat, Nicole? I do apologise. Oh, here it is. Hi, Dan. Happy FPL day. Playing FPL 10 years with 2 top 100k finishes. 13k was the best. This year, I've got 3... You've got Fantasy Football Hub for the first time. Game changer. I'm telling you guys, Fantasy Football Hub does genuinely change people's FPL experiences, by the way. And if you are fancying signing up to Fantasy Football Hub, by the way, please do use my link. It really does help out the channel a lot. Seems like everyone's got a Fantasy Football Hub link at this point. And yeah, I have a feeling they're going to be dropping some of their creators next year. And I hope it's not me. So please click my link, or I may have to find a real job. But yeah, no, it is good. I've been using it for years. So yeah, I can definitely appreciate that people are getting some joy from that. I've got 3 Coventry defenders for bench boost Game Week 2. That is so brave and not something I'm willing to do, but I back it. If anyone else wants to go triple Coventry defense on a bench boost, then absolutely go for it. Absolutely go for it. I can't take those kind of risks in front of this many people. QXYS says Lamens, Kinski, Gabriel, Calaballard, Williams, Jacquet, Bruno, Solis, and Bermo, Soboslai, Lefay, Calvert-Lewin, Isaac, 96% on Fantasy Football Hub. And for good reasons. That's a pretty strong team. It's pretty strong. Oh, there's no Joao Pedro, though. How have you gone without Haaland but can't afford Joao Pedro? Gabriel is just such an expensive guy. He just sucks up all your budget, doesn't he? Sometimes I think Gabriel might be more expensive than Haaland. He feels like he is. I don't know, obviously that's not literally true. But when I look at a squad with Gabriel in and a squad with Haaland in, the rest of the squads look kind of similar in a way. In the sense that it's just either Haaland or Gabriel, one of the two is sucking up all the budget. I don't know. I feel like I don't know how you find a way to get Joao Pedro in though. I don't know who's on your bench. Yeah, but the team is strong. The team is strong. I think Joao Pedro's going to have a really good season though. Particularly if you're wildcard 3, Joao Pedro would be essential for me. 13 killings with the super chat here, who says, damn, here we go again. My bench boost 1 team, Kinski, Verbruggen, Maguire, Calafiori, Aya, Kalioglu, Diop, Bruno, Bermo, Lefay, Njai, Solis, Calvert-Lewin, Haaland, Joao Pedro. Need 2 out of Sharda and Jai, Lefay, Stack, Scott, Tavernier, Buendia, any 4.5 better than Kalioglu. Honestly, if you're bench boosting in Game Week 1, forget about Tavernier. Sharda could still work, but forget about Tavernier. Forget about Scott. Forget about Stack generally, because I don't think he's that good of a pick. But, like, if I'm bench boosting in Game Week 1, and Jai, Lefay, I'd be looking closely at, particularly if I was wildcarding in 3. But given that you have Haaland, you're probably not thinking of a wildcard in 3, which maybe opens up Sharda for you as just as good as Njai and Lefay, if not better. So it would be 1, I guess 2 of Sharda and Jai, Lefay. Those 3 I go for. 4.5 is better than Kadioglu. Really, it's like Shaw, Aya, maybe Rodon, but there we go. Best Foden replacement, please. Can't be in Bermo. It's in Bermo. Now I go down to Solly 6.5, Soboslai 7, Vert 7.5. I go for one of those. Sorry, I forgot to add Pedro. I do have him. Oh, in that case, fantastic team. Fantastic team. Harvey Cooper says Njai or Dewsbury Hall. Njai. Value for money wise, I'm going to say Njai. Miles says, first year following you after I found you after the World Cup Fantasy. Need your help to win my Works Mini League. £250 for the winner. Mate, we're going to get you there. We're going to get you there. I'm super curious. Anyone else in a money league this season? And if so, what is the grand prize? I want you guys to let me know if you are in a league that wins you money. Usually these are like organised between friends or with work. Certainly these are the things I've been in the past. So I know some people do buy-ins as well, but maybe more among friends. But yeah, what kind of money's on the line this year, guys? I would love to know. How come you don't have Solis, bro? You're an Arsenal fan. Just couldn't fit him in. I do like him. Harry's got £150 on the line. Fishy's got £500 on the line. 10 people. Is it £50 buy-in? Crazy if so. I'm not allowed in any of these leagues anymore since becoming a content creator, which is crazy. We have like punishment leagues instead now. Like we do draft fantasy among friends primarily now. Tommy £500 as well. Wow. Ilian says €2,200. Mad Max €300. €20 buy-in. Crazy. 8 million Zimbabwean dollars. Is that a lot or not much? Don't know. Sam Val says no buy-in, all sponsored by me. Fair play, man. Comedy Addict 2 money leagues, £900 work one, £300 work on food truck one. Jeez. Nikal about 20k rand. What's that in GBP or USD? Mine's league from McDonald's Brekkie. Hey, you take it. We have an FPL forfeit for last place. We have a forfeit in our draft league. And the forfeit is that you have to eat a very, very spicy curry called a fowl. And the winner of the league gets a free curry. So we'll get together at the end of the year. I need to post my mini league actually. I should probably also post it in here as well. Just in case any of you guys haven't joined my mini league yet, I'm going to throw it in chat. It is in the description of videos and stuff, but I'm going to spam the link in chat if you want to join my mini league. Optional. It's optional. I'm in the league with about 20 to 24 friends. That's a lot, man. I love those leagues who are like local, but I'm not allowed in any leagues anymore. It's crazy. Are you thinking about making final changes, or is this your final team? I'm always thinking about making final changes. Always, always, always. I saw a forfeit that you have to do 24 hours in a pub, but for every pint you drink, you reduce the time by an hour. If you don't make it out before closing, then you have to do it all over again. I have also heard this one, but not that you have to do it all over again, just that you can choose to. Well, not. It wasn't even. What did I say? It was Weatherspoons, and you have to stay in from opening, which is like 6 a.m. till closing, which is like can be like 1 or 2 a.m. No, probably not 2 a.m., but like maybe 1 a.m. So you can come home early if you for 1 hour earlier for each pint. And I've also seen the same with McDonald's, that you have to stay in a 24-hour McDonald's for 24 hours, and for every Big Mac you eat, you get to take away an hour. Could you eat 24 Big Macs? You wouldn't have to, really. If you could eat 23 Big Macs in 1 hour, you'd do it, wouldn't you? Was it Big Mac or Quarter Pounder? Maybe Quarter Pounder. Big Mac would be insane. Be absolutely insane. Verts and JP or Brobios and Semenyo? Verts and JP, not even close. You could eat 12 across a few hours? Do you think so? I definitely couldn't. Last one has to shave his legs. I mean, if that's in the summer, that could be embarrassing to go out with some very, very hairless legs in shorts in the summer. Why are you restricted on the mini leagues you can join? I actually don't know. I never has joined as a premium member. Wow, thank you very much for joining. Hope you enjoy the team ratings that we're going to be doing throughout the season. Eat wasabi and hold it in for a minute. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Dearie me. Oh, you know what other league I have? I have a 21 goals league. Any of you guys seen this, by the way? This is great. We'll talk about this more after deadline, because the deadline for this is actually at 8 p.m. So you've still got a little while to do this, but this is like such a fun idea, and it's like the XG Philosophy. I don't know if you follow them on Twitter. I have for a while. They come up with this game, and it's like a fantasy game, and you literally just pick 4 players, and then you're done. You're done for the whole season. You pick 4 players, and the aim is to score 21 or less. So it's like the game 21. Is it called 21? People blackjack? But anyway, try and pick 4 players who will score 21 or less goals, closest to 21 wins. It's FPL blackjack, essentially. Yeah, that's probably the best way to describe it. It's FPL blackjack. But anyway, I've made a mini league for this. I'm also in a mini league with a bunch of my friends. I'm also in a content creators mini league. Like, it's like a few minutes to set up, and then you can just you're just done for the whole season, which is a lot less stressful than FPL. I can tell you that. So just lock in. So if you want to have a go, and if you want to join my league, again, I've left a link in my mini league for that. Who's M Churky? Why is he called M Churky? Is that his real name? Oh, I've misspelled Ryan. Oh yeah, his name is not Ryan. I never knew that. His name is Mathis Ryan Churky. How about that? But he goes by Ryan. There you go. All right, links in the description for that, guys. We'll talk about it a bit more later. What a fun fact. That is fun fact of the day. That's like the same epiphany as when I found out. I'm actually going to head back over to the transfer page for a while. When I found out that... Hang on, let's find him. I want this to be a surprise for anyone who doesn't know about this. That Dominic Solanke is actually called Dominic Solanke Mitchell. He was so close to being known in the FPL community as DSM. The same as DCL, we could have had a DSM. We'd all be calling him DSM. But alas, he dropped the Mitchell. I don't know why. Maybe there's a reason. But he dropped the Mitchell. Ire or Hume? Ire for me. DSMA. No Haaland, thoughts on Richarlison as third striker? Only if you're brave and only if you only need something for Game Week 1, because beyond Game Week 1, he could become troublesome, which is the problem. Oh, my club packs are available. Sorry, guys. Because I'm doing this live, I also have other things to do. At the same time, I've got my Fusium game starting in a minute. I'm playing too many fantasy modes at this point. I'm playing too many different fantasy modes. All right, why aren't you working? My mirroring has stopped working. That's annoying. Connection interrupted. Is my internet down? There we go. That's better. We need to get ourselves sorted. Birida says, can't believe it. Starting again. Summerall's great. Kinski Solis, Harry Mag versus Lamb and Charlotte and Ballard. I guess I'd be bench boost. I'd need to see the rest of your team, honestly, which is the tricky thing. But I don't know. The Lammens version is similar to mine, so I guess that. Ooh, we'll take that. I had Porro till now. Now I'm panicking. Who should I replace him with? Too many options. Take another Arsenal defender. Take a Calafiori, a Ben White. Oh, we got an elite. Please be someone good. Please. 85. Oh, it's Reece James worth the salary that he's going to cost. He's not, is he? Ayo or Ballard? I mean, if you can afford Ballard, I'd go for Ballard. Oh, is he worth that salary? 4.5 million salary. No, he's not. He's just not. I think I'm near it. I think I might have to be. Oh, hang on. We completed a quest. What did we complete? Ah. Oh, right, nice. Claim that then. Oh, I want that. I want that. Oh, well. Right, let's get back to FPL. I'm not convinced by DCL. Maybe go for Bobby. If you don't like DCL, I would prefer, if you can afford to bench them in Game Week 1, I prefer to go for Gonzalo. Like, genuinely. I've considered going for Gonzalo instead of Calvert-Lewin. I can't do it to myself, but Will Arsenal lineup be revealed before deadline? Maybe, but to be honest, I'm fairly convinced by Arsenal's lineup anyway. Should I throw it on screen? I'm pretty happy with. Hang on, I'm going to change things a little bit. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to show you. Okay. I might change it a little bit more, but can I get this on screen? Okay, it's not quite what we're after. We just make this smaller, and that's even worse. Okay, let's figure this out. But like, you're gonna get the gist of it. Like, this is kind of what I'm expecting from. Why is it? This is kind of what I'm expecting from Arsenal. Something like this. Ta-da. That is about right. Okay. I want to make it so it fits the screen a bit better. Oh, there we go. That'll do. Ish. Yeah, that's about as good as we're going to get. Cool. Yeah. That's what I'm expecting from Arsenal. Will Hume play right wing? He has done all pre-season. Not all pre-season, but yeah, a lot of it. Will Hume, like maybe, probably. Bruno G not spotted with the squad. Yeah, I have him high risk from before we got the news. So I guess I move him even higher risk now. Members League code. That's such a good point. I don't even know if I set up a Members League. I'll do that after deadline. I won't do that live. Okay, well, if Bruno G's not spotted with the squad, then we need to take him out. But I guess Lewis Skelly comes in then. It's Lewis Skelly or Zubamendi, right? I would guess. So it would be Rice here. Well, let's just put Rice here. And then Lewis Skelly. How much is Lewis Skelly? I've not even looked at him as an FPL pick. My guess would be 5.5. Am I about right there? Anyone in the chat know? Team name World Cup when? We did that on launch day. We already did that. What are your thoughts on Rodgers at Chelsea? He's like an okay pick. He is 5.5. Okay, we got that right. That's good. But Bruno is injured. Why do you have him? This was the graphic I made 2 days ago in my defense, and I fixed it now. So, yes, there we go. I've gone for Lewis Skelly here. I'm actually probably going to I'm going to swap these two. I'm going to put you as high risk now, because I think there is a chance that Saka comes in, and I'm going to actually move Havertz to medium risk. I think I'm getting more confident that Havertz is going to start ahead of Gyökeres. So I'm happy with something like that now. That would be my prediction. So I think we're pretty much, we can be fairly confident on most of this Arsenal side. Unless it's Eze, Erdegaard, Rice. Because we know Coventry are just going to sit back and defend this game. Could this be excuse me, a double attacking midfield situation? Maybe. Maybe. Thank you for the blessings. Fabrizio just posted Bournemouth in for Juventus keeper. Is that true? If that's true, that is genuinely quite annoying. Initial loan of option to buy. How good is he these days? He's like, I always think of him as a backup goalkeeper. Is he? Is he? Oh no, wait, he was starting regularly for Juventus. Is he like, okay, someone's gonna have to fill me in here. Someone who knows more about Italian football than I do. Welcome to Rushworth. That actually might be what tips me over the edge. Oh yeah, Gabriel's price is wrong on this, isn't it? This actually might be what tips me over the edge when it comes to Petrovic versus Rushworth. Oh man, I don't like this. I'm not changing to Kinski. If I'm changing to Kinski, I may as well change a few things. That genuinely is a spanner in the works that I was not expecting to have to deal with today. It's Juve's second keeper, don't worry. But is that enough to worry? I don't know. Now I am worried. Oh man. Okay, well let's get rid of the lineup slideshow for a minute. I was midway doing Gregorio research, trying to figure stuff out. Aya, Hume, Kadioglu, or Mitchell for the first six. For the first six, maybe. I don't think I go Aya or Hume for six. So maybe Kadioglu for six. Okay, let's have a look here then. Is it just a case of going Rushworth, or do I have to use one of my backup drafts that didn't have thingy in? So the other option is to go Sangare and upgrade Thomas to Shaw. So I'm not triple Coventry defense. Okay. How do I figure this out? What's wrong with Kinski? I just think he has pretty mediocre fixtures. Let's go over to the clean sheet odds. So if we go over to game week 2 clean sheet odds, because basically I need a 4.5 who's got decent clean sheet odds here. Not a Lammens, not 4.5. Raya, not 4.5. Rushworth is 4.5, but I don't want to triple up there. Liverpool is 5.5. Man City 5.5. Then we've got Bournemouth 4.5. Sunderland 5. Fulham 4.5, but I just don't trust Fulham defensively. And then we've got Kinski all the way down here. So I could. Chris Ball says Semenyo and Gross versus Wirtz and Anderson for first 4 game weeks. Wirtz and Anderson for me. What are we worrying about? I'm worrying about Petrovic because it looks like Bournemouth are signing a new goalkeeper who I don't know if he's going to be a starter or not. And I don't want to take that risk. Rushworth is the easy answer if you're already on... triple Coventry defense is wild. Like, that is an unbelievably brave move. Am I that brave? How do I resolve this? Okay, come on, Dan. We can resolve this. Or just at least look at the options here. So, we could find a way to... So these are players that I'm kind of happy to negotiate with. Let's try and find a solution here. I don't know if my Buendia is better than Gross. Thoughts? He should be a... you know what? I actually don't know if he's better. And he's 0.5 more expensive. So I'd probably suggest no, he's not. I'll scroll up a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. So. What about Verbrugge? No, it doesn't work for game week 2. Doesn't work for a Game Week 2 bench boost, so I can't go for the Brigham. Doesn't fit what I'm going for. So if I did go for Sangare here, or boring Sangare, I could go for boring Sangare. Oh, it doesn't really work, Liverpool. Then can I afford White? Yeah, I have 6 left. Can I find a way to get Solis in? Okay, hang on. Let me just play around a little bit more. What about Rhea here? Actually, no, I know this is not going to be possible because I've got 10.5 to spend on 2 positions. It's not enough. Unless I go Shaw. And then it's going to be... What? Oh, man, it's not enough. This doesn't work. I guess I go Tavernier. That would probably push me towards Tavernier, so not to triple up on Brentford. I don't hate it. I'm not downgrading Burmo, and Burmo's not going anywhere. And Burmo is non-negotiable for me. It kind of works, doesn't it? And I do like Tavernier and Sangare though. Oh, but actually that would be fine because I've now got Shaw and Ballard. This kind of works, doesn't it? This kind of works. Why are you picking Ballard over Hume? I just think Ballard is better than Hume at pretty much everything. More nailed, better defcons, probably better attacking threat. It's a no-brainer. Like, I think there's a significant upgrade, enough that it's worth the 0.5. So this also does solve my problem in the sense that if Ayas, drops out the team, or if Ballard, plays against Brentford and I don't want to play him in Game Week 4, that does solve that problem. But the issue is I've essentially downgraded Sangare. Sorry, like Szoboszlai to Sangare is essentially the downgrade I've made. So it's like one defender up, so one Coventry defender up to Shaw, but Lammers up to Rare. But does it improve the team? I don't think it does. I don't think it improves the team. I mean, it looks okay. It means I have to play Sangare Game Week 1. Use Anderson? How? I can't afford him. No point in having a 4.5 million keeper. You have to. If you're playing a bench boost, you have to get a 4.5 million keeper. What's wrong with Kinski against Newcastle for Game Week 2 bench boost? There's nothing inherently wrong with it. It's just not optimal. Because the clean sheet odds aren't as good. How likely is this transfer to happen? In advanced talks. Yeah, this is not working for me. Verts and Slater or Szoboszlai and Sangare. Was this Forrest to Sangare? I think Szoboszlai and Sangare. Thoughts on Alvarez to Arsenal? I mean, if that happens, it's an amazing transfer. But not something we'll be thinking about for FPL right now. No way am I going triple Coventry defense. I can't. Can I really do this to myself? I'm still trying to pick the wrong goalkeeper here. Rushworth. Let's I had my rejected drafts. Maybe one of them I need to reconsider. One of my rejected drafts. Aha, I have a orange squash delivery. 1 second, guys. Thank you. You know, we can't do these streams without a squash in hand. Okay. I need to look at some of my backup drafts here. So, what backup draft did I have without Petrovic? Oh, man, they all had Petrovic. Every one of my backup drafts had Petrovic in it. What's the problem that's making me change? Bournemouth signing a new goalkeeper. Out of nowhere. Which is kind of a good thing we found out now. I just don't think the drop-off is the drop-off in clean sheet potential is worth the spread of the risk. Like, it's incredibly ballsy to go triple Coventry defence against Hull. It's incredibly ballsy, and I don't know if I'm that guy. Am I that guy? I'm also on bench boost 2. Try this. Lammers. No, Petrovic is the problem. Oh, sorry. Try this. Lammers, Petrovic, Sharda, Gross to Ruffs, Kinski, Solis, and Andre Santos. I mean, definitely not. But like, the problem is I'm not massively keen on Kinski. Like, I know everyone loves Kinski. Kinski is like the darling of the FPL world, isn't he? But I think he is being massively overrated. And if I really wanted Kinski, I would just do this. I would just go Kinski here. I'd go Shaw here, probably. If I wanted Kinski, I'd do that. Is that the solution? Is it as simple as that? Is any more 0.5? Can I do more? Could I do more? I only have a 4.5s I like, not really. Let's see. Could go for Justin Leeds. Rodon at Leeds. Do I want a Leeds defender? Not massively. Could we get Maguire in here? Probably not. Van Hecker. Jacquet could come back in. Are Maguire and Shaw nailed on? Yeah. Ballard and Lefay or Hume and Solis? Probably Ballard and Lefay, as long as you can cover game week 3. Well, this is boring. Oh, I do apologise, Tyler. But it is also important that I sort out my own FPL team ahead of deadline. Why is everyone picking Szoboszlai? Just really good for minutes. Oh, you know what? Hang on. Can I do something here? Is there something that I can do here? If I do Lamans here... Oh, but again, I need to find a defender that I'm happy with. Right, let's go clean sheet odds. Game week 2. That's the most important one because I can cover the other weeks. Arsenal, Man United. Oh, wait, no. Hang on. That's not in the right order. Arsenal, Man United, Coventry, Liverpool. Do we dare take a punt on Jacquet? Or can we find a 4.5 so we don't have to downgrade Sharda? At that point, I'll just go all the way to 5.5. Joe Roy rode on. Not massively feeling it, to be honest. Did Bournemouth have a 4.5? And they don't, do they? Sure doesn't work here because I've got Lamans. I will figure this out. And is that like how long? We got an hour, over an hour till deadline. Okie dokie. Maybe it is. Maybe we take the like a Rodon or a Justin. But honestly, I'd probably rather pick Thomas than those guys. So why am I not picking Thomas? Is Gakpo too much of a risk over Szoboszlai? I have Isak. I mean, Gakpo's a really interesting one because we don't know if he's still going to be at the club in a week's time. So we don't have a clue. It is a risky, but it's up to you how if you really want to take that risk or not. Coyote, I don't want to double up with Aya. Nico Williams doesn't work for bench boost 2. Yo Dan, you play COD or nah? I mean, yeah. I mean, I haven't played the most recent COD in like since like I don't know, before Christmas. But yeah, when the new COD comes out each year, I play a lot. Yeah, and I move on to the next game. Okie doke. Let's figure this out. Come on, Dan. Come on, Dan. Rodon or Bogle for me. Yeah. The Kuiper. Doesn't work for game week 2. Chelsea. Sure doesn't work because I have Lamans. Unless, hang on. Is there a 5 million goalkeeper who works? Let's go through these again. So 5 million goalkeepers could go for Ruff. Nah. Leno, no. Kinski. Do we go back to Kinski? And then Shaw. And then back to Szoboszlai. Is that the one? But then I've got to play Kinski in game week 1. And I don't even really like him that much in game week 2. I've got to play him every week, essentially, if I do that. Doesn't work. Lamans needs to be my goalkeeper. I've tried enough combos to know by this point that Lamans needs to be my goalkeeper. Why have I changed? Petrovic looks like he may not be nailed on after all. Robertson? I'm not huge on Robertson as a pick, if I'm totally honest. Spurs do have Senesi and Van Hecken now, by the way. That's true. That is true. Look, do I just ruin my game week 2? Do I just absolutely destroy my weekend next weekend? This would absolutely ruin my weekend next weekend if I do this. Yeah, Petrovic might not be nailed. Gregorio looks like he is going to sign for Bournemouth. Go Thomas and Rushworth to Sanchez or Kelleher. Sanchez, game week 2. Who's this game week 2 fixture? Brighton at home. The clean sheet odds on that bad boy. Oh, not that good. 26%. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. And I'll have Gomez again. Gross against my goalkeeper as well. Do what I'm doing. Go McBurney for third striker. Well, I did look at Barry. Nah, I'm not doing McBurney. If I'm going all in, I'm going all in on Coventry. This it's crazy. If I do this, I'm crazy. Just as I was happy with my team. So frustrating. So frustrating. Let's go with this for now. I'm going to make the transfer for now. It is an unbelievably bold strategy. And I know if I've got to play this game in front of other people. If this goes wrong, it goes wrong spectacularly. At least we'll get some content out of it, at least, I suppose. Oh, people are going to hate me for doing this, though. Why not Kinski? Because the odds, the clean sheet odds in Game Week 2 are significantly worse than Coventry's. Why would it go wrong? Because Hull score once and I'm ruined. But like saying that, I know people are obsessed with Kinski, but like, oh, I'm in the minority. Ask yourself, if you was going from 1 to 2 Coventry, would you still do it? I would. Yeah, I would more than happily go for 2 Coventry defenders. Hull score 0 and you're a genius. True. Triple Coventry Game Week 2, you can't find better value. I mean, that's literally the truth. That is literally the case. Triple Coventry is insane value in Game Week 2. Like, it's unbelievable EV. So, if we're talking about playing, like, it's just high risk, high reward, isn't it? Do I just do it? Remember, Petrovic has only 30% clean sheet in Game Week 2. Well, yeah, no, and Rushworth has more. Screw it. Should we just do it? Maybe Leno instead of Rushworth. I think I'd be closer to Leno, but the things I don't trust Fulham, and the way Fulham are set up in pre-season, I don't really trust them for clean sheets. Rushworth is also decent for Game Week 4. Is that true? Brian at home? I don't think you're going to get very good odds out of that. Hearing someone talk himself into something is the sign to get as far away as possible. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. It's not high risk with a clean sheet odds. No. It's high risk because your points are the points of your players are all tied together. That's the risk. Is that if one goes wrong, they all go wrong. So you've not spread your bets. You've put all your eggs in one basket. It's like if you're like putting money into stocks or something. Do you put all your money in the stock that you feel has the best potential, or do you diversify a little bit? Maybe put some of your money in something a little more, maybe not as good, but like, you know, just to spread your risk a little bit. You're running away from high variance. You did say we're looking for high variance in the first 3 game weeks. That is true, Fardine. That is true. And I was looking for high variance for the first 3. All on red. Well, that's it, isn't it? Do you go all on red, or do you want to throw one of your chips on like 1 to 12? Worse odds, but Jordan says, I think you're overthinking it, Dan. Petrovic was fine. Petrovic is not fine. If the Gregorio is signing for Bournemouth, Petrovic is not fine. You don't see a new goalkeeper coming into the straight 11. I would say the goalkeeper is the most likely player to come straight into the starting 11. And if he's... I just don't want to take that risk. And I already said I was considering Rushworth and going all in on the high variance. And I think this is enough to push me over. But I would think I'd rather go Petrovic than Kinski still. For a Game Week 2 bench boost strategy. Best Ipswich defenders for Game Week 1. I'm going triple with goalkeeper. Now that I would not be doing. I guess. Thing is, O'Shea's probably going to play at right back, isn't he? So who would it be? Greaves, probably. I think if I'm going for a Ipswich defender, I'd probably forget about Defcon and just go for Davis and try and get an attacking return out of it. Because I'm not convinced that there's going to be an Ipswich clean sheet anyway, to be honest. As a Juventus fan, Petrovic is fine. Well, that's why he's signing for Bournemouth. He's trying to reinvent himself. Isn't Conser in Arsenal now? He is, but he won't start in Gameweek 1. Isak or Thiago for 2 game weeks. I prefer Isak if you can get to him, I guess. One issue with 2 commentary defenders is if one of your defenders doesn't play in Game Week 3. Yeah, no, for sure. That is a concern. That is a concern. But I'm just gonna risk it. I think I'm just gonna risk that. I've already kind of come to terms with that one. It's not gonna be for everyone. Not gonna lie, I like Petrovic as a keeper. Talking strictly real life, not FPL, by the way. All right, let's see. We need to find some Bournemouth fans. Will Bournemouth fans know? We need to find some Bournemouth fans. All right, if I just search Petrovic FPL and go by latest, what are the people saying? Oh, well, people are swearing. Okay, Juventus fans do not like Gregorio. Yeah, people haven't really reacted to this news, apparently. It doesn't help that no one else is on a bench boost 2 strategy, is it? But that's just me. Arsenal fan with 1 gunner. Listen, I do not factor in my own team biases at all when playing FPL. At all. It does not enter the equation. Could be a top 10 coldest moment. Oh yeah, is that what we need? Do we need a cold moment? Do we just go for the cold moment? I think we're going to go for the cold moment. For the triple Coventry defence. Oh, go Lamans to Kinski and Aya to Maguire, Gross to Gomez and Sullivan first. That means I've got to play Kinski for the first 2 game weeks. And I don't want to... I barely even want to play him in Game Week 2, let alone Game Week 1. Why Thomas and not De Silva? Thomas looks really good for Defcon from pre-season. Joao Pedro for Havertz? No, definitely Joao Pedro over Havertz. Hume worth it. If you want to. If you have no other Sunderland, but I want Ballard. Are you paying a bench boost? Game Week 2 bench boost. Why Rushworth over Kinski? Rushworth has significantly better clean sheet odds in Game Week 2. Significantly better. Honestly, I'm going to be praying for Kinski's downfall because he's like the most popular player that I'm not picking. Certainly out of the kind of online FPL community, engaged managers or whatever. Everyone's going for Kinski. So I will be preying on his downfall. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, Kinski owners. High down on Shaw and bench boost with Gross, Davis, and Jai Mihramovic, or bench boost to Thomas, Van der Vaart, Sobo, Sangari, Gross. They both look okay. Probably prefer the second one. Bench boost, 2 thoughts. Rushworth, Mihramovic, Grimes, Van der Vaart. Grimes, 5 million. Yeah. Wouldn't expect much from him. Yeah, I mean, Rushworth, Van der Vaart are decent. But genuinely, Coventry versus Hull defenders, the defenders and goalkeepers are so good versus Hull that I actually don't think they're your bench boost picks. All right, I'm going to put this on Twitter. Wait, gonna... There we go. Thoughts on this Mylasar? He's like okay. He's okay. Like he's probably about right in as a 6.5 million price tag. He's just fine. Good. Although saying that, if Mateta's leaving, and he very well might be, then that would put Sarr on penalties. I think he's more of a game week 3 or 4 wild card kind of pick than a game week 1 pick, is what I would say. Shard it in over Soboslai, surely? Oh no, definitely not. Newcastle are in some degree of trouble. Now, what I might consider is Sharda over Calvert-Lewin, but I don't know if I have the minerals. You know what I still might do? I might just back against Brentford at this point. Things I'm going to be double. Do I go for Tavernier? No, I'm not going for Tavernier. Stop being tempted by Tavernier, Dan. Just stick with Sharda. I do kind of want to play Sharda, though. Let's zoom out slightly. I do kind of want to play Sharda, but like it would be instead of Calvert-Lewin. But again, that feels quite risky. I think I'm locked in with Sharda too. Lefay works if you're wildcarding in 3. Thoughts on 0.5 in the bank? I mean, if you want to, I don't think it's essential. Go for Tavernier after wildcard? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I like his fixtures in 2 and 3. Ballard and Sharda or Ayer and Lefay? Ballard and Sharda, I think. Yeah, Ballard and Sharda. Why Sharda? Really good underlying data. And I like Brentford's fixtures in the opening 3. And I'm shooting for a game week 4 wild card, so yeah, that's why I'm doing that. Just arrived. Don't know if it was mentioned already that Porro and Van der Ven are out for game week 1. Yeah, we knew Porro would be out, but I didn't actually see the Van der Ven one. De Kuyper, Xhaka, but thank you for that. De Kuyper, Xhaka, and Vuskovic worth a try. Vuskovic, I'm worried about his minutes in the first couple of weeks. De Kuyper is interesting. They're all risky. They're all risky. I'd be more willing to take the risks on De Kuyper and Xhaka in game week 1, though. Who's the best 5 million midfielder for bench boost to wildcard 4? Probably Gomez at Brighton. Couldn't you downgrade Sharda for Granit Xhaka? If I'm downgrading Sharda, I take him to Sangare. But I don't know what I'd do with the 0.5 anyway, to be honest. League code is in the stream description for you, Wilson. Is Bassi nailed for the first 3 weeks? Yeah, I think he should be. But again, I don't know if I like the look of Fulham pre-season. Hey Dan, any chance of the first season bench list today? Nah, not in game week 1. It'll be too chaotic because people won't treat it as a bench list. They'll treat it as a transfer targets list. I just can't deal with that stress today. Oh dear, and we've done so much tier list stuff. Have you changed your formation or still tinkering? I'm still tinkering a little bit. I think I'm nearly there, or basically there. I'm considering... I really like the idea of Kevin Sharda wiping out Kinski clean sheet for bench boost oneers. So I think Sharda is better open play. And I think positionally and tactically, he's quite a good matchup against Spurs. But Calvert-Lewin has penalties. And he's a striker, and he's had good preseason form. And does Gross drop out? How does that look? Team's good, too good in attack. 3 from Coventry is too much to handle. At least change 1. If it's too much to handle for you, my friend, then you are more than welcome to change 1. I, on the other hand, have no such hang-ups. Yeah, maybe Gross bench. Like, Gross is meant to be the enabler, right? So let him be the enabler. Okay, let's save. League code incorrect. Oh. Let me double check. Nope, that is the correct league code. You have to scroll right to the bottom of the... Unless are you using my club league code? Or my 21 goals league code? My FPL league code is like at the bottom of the stream description. You're not putting Solis in because of Arsenal's fixtures? I'm not putting Solis is because I can't really easily fit him in, is the honest answer. Let's say you've got the money. Who is your favourite Brentford midfielder? I'm torn between Dango, Sharda, and Sangare. I think Sharda... Like, okay, if money's no issue, it's Dango. But I think I would rather have Sharda and 0.5 million in the bank than Dango, if that makes sense. Aya or Rodon? I prefer Aya. Yeah, if I had 0.5 million in the bank, I'd move Sharda to Solis and not Dango. Sharda and 0.5 in the bank or Anderson? I think Anderson. Wino Lefay doesn't really work for me in Game Week 3 because I'd want to bench Lefay in Game Week 3. And I already want to bench Joao Pedro in Game Week 3. Why Sharda over Njai? Because I need a player who's got a good fixture in 3. Njai has Man United in 3. And also I am a little bit worried about Njai leaving Everton. And if that were the case, that would concern me for my Game Week 2 bench boost. So if you're on Game Week 1 bench boost, I'd be more inclined to go for players like Njai. If you're on a Game Week 3 wildcard, I'd be more inclined to go for players like Njai or Enzo. If you can find a way to bench these guys, if you may be going for a... You know, if you're going for different defenders, I've got to bench my Coventry guys in Game Week 3. Oh. Why has my chat died? Oh, it's back. Why not Caicedo? He's not really on my radar, to be honest. Should he be? He's one of those players where you kind of have to get lucky to get FPL points from him. Aya or Ballard? Depends what you need. But I like both. Why is everyone ignoring Richarlison? Because he might be leaving Spurs. That's the big problem. Best 2 4.5 million goalkeepers for bench boost 2. I'm not actually convinced that there are any anymore. Who, outside of Rushworth, if Petrovic was saying is some rotation risk, I guess it's Rushworth and Petrovic. But like they don't work as a pairing. I guess you'd have to throw in Kinski. But if you're doing that, then bench boost 2 suddenly doesn't look as good generally. Who would you be more inclined to start between Aya and Hume? I guess I'd take a punt on Hume. But I do worry about Hume's minutes beyond Gameweek 1. I worry about them a little bit even in Gameweek 1. Which do I go for? Lamans, Hume, Soboslai, Solis, Sangare, or Rhea, Shaw, Solis, Lafay, Sangare, bench boost 2. Wait, let's actually look at try and find the difference. You've got Solis in both, you've got Sangare in both. So it's really Lamans, Hume, Soboslai, or Rhea, Shaw, Lafay. I think I prefer Rhea, Shaw, Lafay. Yeah. I prefer Rhea, Shaw, Lafay. I'm going to try one more tinker. Because I would love to get Rhea in. If I can do it, then I might. Without making too many compromises. Just don't think it's possible. Because I've got to find 1.5 million. And I'd find it by going... I don't know. Solis here. It's 0.5. This thing is, if I do this, it just becomes such a weak bench. This is how you do it. It becomes such a weak bench all of a sudden. Maguire and a third 4 million defender, or Shaw and a 4.5. If you can identify a 4.5 you like Aya, or you like a different 4.5, then take that route. But I don't think there's that many 4.5s I really like, to be honest. So for that reason, I'd say Maguire. Would you consider Rashford? No. No, I don't think he starts. I think Dorgu and Cunha are ahead of him in the pecking order for a left winger. Which is, worrying for Rashford, really, because you'd think he'd want to play football. So, no. Best other 7 million midfielder, probably in that area, it's Vert, Soboslai, and Solis. Those would be the guys. Who's the best bench boost 2 wildcard 5? Bench boost 2 wildcard 4 5 million. I swear I answered that already. I did answer that already. I said Gomez. Turn Dog, thank you for the super sticker. Who shall I start, Sangare or DCL? Oh, I play DCL over Sangare. Like, this structure is it's okay, but I just feel like we've downgraded the midfield too much. 3 midfield downgrades just to get Rhea in, essentially. So Constance might not be ready to start in our first game week. The first game week is in 2 hours. So, no. No, he's not going to be ready. He's absolutely not going to be ready. I mean, if somehow Consa is ready to play tonight, is he even going to be registered in time? He's not, is he? It would be very impressive if Consa was somehow in the squad tonight, or if he was starting tonight. He's probably even not met the squad yet. I'm probably just meeting them today. And he's probably not even meeting them today, is he? He's only just signed, and all the squad are going to be too busy prepping for the game tonight. He's not even met his teammates yet. He's got to play with them. I'm worried I've got a pairing of Kinski and Rushmore. What should I do? Rushworth. I mean, I just think Kinski is a little overrated. So you're asking the wrong guy. Constance's probably still in Birmingham, let's be real. Yeah, probably. Yeah, look, a lot of people like Kinski, and I'm very cautious to put my head above the parapet. What is a parapet? Parapet? What is that? But anyway, I'm very conscious that I don't want to be the one guy saying Kinski is overrated. But also, I'm not fully on board with the hype. Like, he's a decent 4.5 million goalkeeper. But I think you've got to be a little cautious on him immediately. unless the fixtures are really good, and I don't think they're that good for Spurs, for a defender at least. Do you care that Aya clashes with DCL in 2 and Ballard in 3? Not really. Nah, it's a hedge. It's a hedge. It's just a hedge. I have to hedge somewhere because I've got triple Coventry defense. Why no Szoboszlai? This is just a tinker. Like, I don't think I'm going to be locking this in. Could Maddison be worth a go? I don't think Maddison starts game week 1. I think it'll be Gallagher there. A parapet is the low wall that surrounds a balcony. What do you mean a low wall that surrounds a balcony? What? I'm trying to imagine a balcony. Where's the low wall? As in, like, I wouldn't call them low walls. Just like the sometimes glass or like metal bars. A parapet is where a priest preaches sermons from. Someone else says a parapet is a bit of trench. I don't think people know what a parapet is. I've just been given 3 different definitions of parapet. Someone else just says it comes from castles. Which is it? Okay, we've got a couple of people talking about castles. Oh, is it that bit of the castle where the wall goes like this? You know what I mean? When the wall goes like that. So you can go through the little holes and do your little bow and arrow. It's all of them. The phrase comes from trench warfare. That makes sense. That makes sense. This team just with Kinski is what I'm thinking. I think I've nailed it. What a parapet is. It's many different things. It just means any little wall that you peer over. Whether you're on a balcony, in a war, in a castle, in a trench, or sometimes even if you're a priest. There are many parapets in all walks of life. You've just got to find the right one for you. It's just a defensive wall. That makes the most sense. Just a low protective wall or barrier located along the edge of a roof, terrace, balcony, bridge, or walkway. I'm happy. Preacher's use is a pulpit, not a parapet. That also makes more sense. I think we should probably stick to FPL. We can save the discussions of the true definition of parapet, although I do appreciate it and I always like to learn. I think that that can wait. Joe, I'm curious of the live odds, if anything's changing. What's going on? How do we find it? Okay, so Arsenal clean sheet odds. Oh, you did mention they were dropping. They seem to have rised a little bit again. Let's do 3 day. No, let's do a 1 day. Nothing crazy happening here. Okay. Anything else happening? Man United rising slightly. You get game week 2 at all? No. Thoughts on Xhaka as an enabler for bench boost and Gomez or Gross? You could do. I do think I prefer Gross and Gomez to Xhaka, though. I know that Xhaka has the slightly better fixture, you'd say, but I'm just not convinced. Lloyd, thank you for the super sticker. Ballard plus DCL or Williams plus Brobby. Bench boost 1. Only DCL / Brobby playing again 2. Ballard and DCL I'd go for out of those 2 combos. Thoughts on Sims? Some said earlier that Sims is getting sold. That Sims is potentially getting sold. Rohit, there will be a members league, but I will announce it soon. Yo, Arsenal fans, is that locked team? I think the team that... I'm pretty confident that the team that I was showing earlier is going to be Arsenal's team. Who are you captaining in Game Week 1 and why? Bruno Fernandes, because I think the whole fixture is incredible. And I think that there is a chance that Haaland doesn't play 90 and a chance that Haaland takes a game or two to get up to speed. Also, I'm very aware that a lot of people are going about Haaland. So I feel that it is more risky, not just owning Haaland, but also captaining him. That is definitely high risk, high reward. Because a lot of people are now taking Haaland out. But in all honesty, if we're looking at the overall player base, more people are going without Bruno than Haaland. So, but like the people I'm competing with, or I feel that I will be competing with come the end of the season, a lot of them are going without Haaland. So it's kind of double jeopardy if I captain Haaland. So yeah, it's the fitness not fully quite up to speed yet. Maybe a slow start for him, maybe an early sub for him. And I love the Hull fixture. And I don't really know what to make about Bournemouth yet. New manager, new season. Not sure what to make of them yet. But Bruno, I know what we'll get him. I know what to get him. And I trust him. I do trust him. I have to say, I do like Mbeumo. If I had to really, really punt this week, if you banned me from going Bruno or Haaland, if anyone is feeling extremely brave, Bryan Mbeumo would be the captain for me. Haven't heard many people talk about going without Mbeumo. I think for good reason. I think Mbeumo for me is really non-negotiable. He has to be in my team. Hume or Ballard? Ballard. I am like so on Team Ballard versus Hume, by the way. Like firmly on Team Ballard. OG Madman says, review my team. Verbruggen, Kinski, Calafiori, Maguire, Hume, Thomas, Van Wijk, Bruno Mbeumo, Szoboszlai, Solis, Gross, DCL, Joao Pedro, and Haaland. Yeah, it's a good team. It's a really good team. I like that. Yeah, that's like a 9 out of 10 team. Strong. Really strong. Playing bench boost 1, 09, and so be careful about 09. Be careful. I don't think it's guaranteed that he starts. I think he has a more likely to start than not, but I don't think it's guaranteed. I'm like 60-14 now. Favorite 6 million midfielder, mate. Depends what you're looking for, really. If you're looking for just game week 1 and 2, if you're looking for game week 1 and Jai, if you're looking for game week 1 and 2, then Lefay. If you're looking for 1, 2, and 3, then Sharda. If you're looking for 2 and 3, Tavernier. You know what? Sometimes I say things like this. I've got all of these combinations of 6 million midfielders for every different like game week requirement already listed in my head, and I wonder maybe if I think about FPL a little bit too much. Zyle, thank you very much for becoming a member of the channel. Thoughts on Mikalenko and De Kuiper as bench boost 1 over others? You could do, yeah. I think my issue with those guys is that, well, with Mikalenko is that he only offers you clean sheets. You're not going to get an attacking return. You're not going to get DEFCON. You're not going to get bonus points from him. De Kuiper is more interesting, a little bit more exciting. Diego says, Aina and Gross or Ballard and Gomez? Depends what you need. If you need a defender for game week 2, then Ballard is obviously your guy. But if you need a defender more for game week 3, then the Aina combination maybe works a little bit better. And this is another thing. Thank you. By the way, IHB, member for 67 months. Crazy. Thank you so much. I always call you IHB. It's HB. This is the other thing. I know, like, people say, who's the best pick, A or B? But, like, the real answer... And some people will just give you an answer and just say, yeah, this guy's probably better. You just go with them. But the real answer is always the one that works better within your structure. And there's always going to be different players that are going to be better for different people. And it depends what you need. Like, what week do you need covering what player? As we mentioned with the 6 million midfielders, you know, for some people, Enzo Lefay is the best 6 million midfielder. But if you need a midfielder who is got a good fixture in game week 3, so you can bench Joao Pedro, for example, then Lefay doesn't do that for you. If you don't actually need a player for game week 1 when Lefay faces Ipswich, well, okay, you can maybe take Tavernier because he faces Man City in game week 1, but has a good fixture in game week 3. So much of it is very much like moving parts and what works for you. Craig says bench Sangare or Gomez. I would bench Sangare, I think. Just because I don't know if Sangare... I'm predicting Sangare probably plays about 70 minutes in Game Week 1, and that might be just too few minutes for him to get hit DEFCON, unfortunately for him. Craig, member for 66 months. Randy, member for 15 months there as well. Shadow or Ryan, is Pedro Porro fit to play? Prefer Shadow, I think. Pedro Porro will not play, though, no. Go Soboslai to Solis and Gross to Lefebvre or something. I mean, I don't think I want it. I want Gross. I like Gross. I want Gross in my team. If I was to free up 0.5, I don't even know what I'd do with it. Maybe upgrade Rushworth, but like, again, who am I looking for realistically, goalkeeper-wise? Game Week 2, clean sheet odds. If I was to do that, I mean, that is an option. Could go for... Oh, honestly, I don't know. I'm like... The difficulty is Coventry have crazy good clean sheet odds in Game Week 2. So, let's see. Right. Sia Bongaknos says... That's all that's coming up. It says ... at the end there. Let's just call you Sia. Says, happy new season, mate. Do you think Haaland has a better season with Maresca? I think he struggled a bit compared to his ridiculously normal standard. That is very true. I think the Maresca system certainly favours Haaland in the sense that we're going to be talking about the wingers cutting the ball back and hopefully delivering Haaland the kind of chances that he likes to receive. And obviously the midfielders trying to play some counter-attacking balls if there's any opportunity for counter-attacks, which there often is not when you're Man City. But yeah, wingers cutting back and being more creative than they are shooty is going to benefit Haaland in theory. So let's see, because he's not had much of a pre-season. He does like to start the season strong, but we don't know if that's going to happen this year. But systemically, I think Maresca suits Haaland. But then again, I think Pep Guardiola did a lot of good work to get the best out of Haaland as well. So a lot of it's down to Haaland, really, and his own form. Bench boost Game Week 1 or 2. If you're going with Haaland, I would bench boost in 2. If you're going without Haaland, I'd go bench boost in 1. JH edits, man, you've got to stop spamming, or we're going to have to put you on mute. I know you're a member of the channel, and that's giving you spam privileges, but we got to chill, man. We've got, in fact, yeah, no, it's got to be a mute for you, my friend. It's got to be a 20-minute mute. Actually, we'll give you 10 minutes to cool off. Thoughts on Isak as a pick? I like him. I really like him. And if I was going without Haaland, I would have Isak in my squad, like, for sure, without a doubt. Oh, by the way, I've not even asked once for you guys to like the stream. Like, I always forget to ask people to like. If you wouldn't mind dropping a like on the stream, that would be insanely appreciated. Yeah. Like, there's thousands of you here, which is lovely, by the way. Thank you so much for all of you for tuning in today. If we can get... How many likes are we on right now? I can't even see on my... Unless I refresh this. 630 likes, it says we're on. I mean, if we can get to 1,000 likes on a stream... Like, I can't remember the last time I hit 1,000 likes on a stream. So I would massively, massively appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, do my super chat, please. Yes, sorry. Hexagonal Mariner says Maguire and Sangare or Shaw and Sharda. Shaw and Sharda. Shaw and Sharda is more fun to say as well. If you say Shaw and Sharda, it's much more interesting. So let's go with that. What am I offering in exchange for a like? I mean, what do you want? If we can hit 1,000 likes, what would you like in return? And if it's achievable, then yeah, I'll go for it. Already done so. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I have some new football shirts. I have actually some unopened football shirt mystery boxes. We can open them. Is that a prize? That's more of a prize for me than it is for you. But I think it could be interesting. But that's because I like football shirts. Belinda Jeet says, Rush to Kinski, Sharda to Solis. Better upside. You'd have to free up 0.5 to do that upgrade. But potentially, like I just don't like Kinski's clean sheet odds game week 2 or game week 1. Really, if I'm totally honest, I don't like his clean sheet odds. I don't. So yeah. Does Solis have a better upside than Sharda? I'm not sure he does. I think Sharda is a very high upside player. Foden or Sharda, I have 8 in the bank. Oh, man, if you've got 8 in the bank, I'd be looking at Florian Wirtz. Or like, if you don't have Mbermo, I'd be picking Mbermo 100%. But I'd be looking at Florian Wirtz if you've got that much money. Man, am I missing super chats? Apologies, guys. They're flying in at the moment. Rage Linz says 2 best, 4.5 million defenders for bench boost 2. Shaw, Aya, or Ronan. Shaw and Aya. If you can have Shaw and Aya, I would be very comfy with those two. Those picks there. Who are the best 5.5 million differential defenders? Okay, well, I mean, assuming you have Calafiori, I'd be looking after that at Ben White and Josko Gvardiol at 5.5. 1,000 likes equals face reveal. Okay, if we hit 1,000 likes, I'll do a face reveal. Stefan says, I've got Gabby. You like Raya, Calafiori, and Mbermo, Kinski, Virgil, Semenyo. I love Mbermo. I love Mbermo. I like Calafiori and Raya. I'm indifferent about Kinski, Virgil, and Semenyo. Like, if you've got the money to get them in, fine. But if you have to sacrifice these guys in your team in order to get other players that you'd like to get in, I think, Kinski, Virgil, Semenyo, they are, like, to me, non-essential. And that's not necessarily because they're bad picks. It's just because I think they're priced extremely well by FPLs, and they're the perfect price. Whereas I look at the value you can get out of Mbermo early season, the value you can get out from Arsenal defense just generally, outside of Gabriel, who's priced about right, I think you can get a lot of value out of those guys. What order to bench Tavernier and Rodon? I'd play Rodon over Tavernier. Mihramovic and Sangare or Aya and Lefay. I think I like Aya and Lefay for game week 1 at least. Sid Vicious says, rate my team, please. Planning bench boost on game week 2. Kinski, Petrovic, Hume, Maguire, Calafiori, Van der Wijk, Thomas, Bruno, Solis, and Mbermo, Szoboszlai, Gross, Haaland, DCL, Joao Pedro. Okay, minor note. Bournemouth are signing a new goalkeeper as we speak. So that does put Petrovic into some doubt. If that worries you, then maybe swap Petrovic for someone else. And Hume, I think Hume's minutes are going to be somewhat under scrutiny. Maybe in game week 1, but more likely, within a few weeks. So if it's something you need long term, I'd be a little concerned about Hume as well. I'm going off Hume as a pick, generally. Rage, I did answer your super chat. I did miss it initially, but I did go back and read it. That was... Oh, it's gone off my screen now, but I did answer that. Feel free to remind me what it was, and I can say it again if you missed it. The answer. Actually, no, I could probably find it. Let's just scroll. Yeah, so I said Shaw and Aya to answer your question. Okie dokie. Rahul with the super chat says, Foden or Sharda, is O'Reilly playing? I think O'Reilly will play. I prefer Sharda to Foden just because I think Foden's only good for game week 1, really. And I think Cherky comes in for Foden from game week 2 onwards. XQC TTV. XQC TTV? Are you the real one? XQC. Thoughts for bench boost game week 2. Raya, O'Reilly, Ballard, Calafiori, Bruno and Burma, Soboslai, Dango, Joao Pedro, Thiago, DCL, bench of Lammers, IM, Haramovic, Verts. That's a really good team. That's a really good no Haaland team. I would play Verts though in game week 1. Probably ahead of... I play Verts ahead of DCL. I play Verts ahead of Dango as well. And I'd maybe even play Verts instead of Soboslai. But yeah, Verts has got to go in the starting 11. Haramovic, does he go in the starting 11? Maybe not. You've got enough strength in that defense. Yeah. Lawrence says Haramovic and Sangare or Aya and Lefay. I'm going to say Aya and Lefay to that one, I think. But again, strategy dependent. Everything I say is at least to a degree strategy dependent. So we've got now 18 minutes till deadline, guys. We are getting super close. It's actually crazy. Why not? Oh man, I'm gonna have to keep answering this Kinski question, aren't I? Why not Kinski over Rushworth? Since Wildcard will be on 4 or 5. The reason I don't like Kinski is because he has very, very, not even like average is probably the best word. Clean sheet odds consistently throughout the first few game weeks. So, in that sense, it's like, what do you want to do? Do you want to spread your odds? If you're bench boost game week 2, do you want to spread your odds by going for a Kinski 25% chance of a clean sheet? Or do you want to go all in and take a Rushworth 35% chance of a clean sheet? Like, the difference between a 25% chance of a clean sheet and a 35% chance of a clean sheet is quite significant. Let's actually double check that those are the odds. But I'm pretty sure it was there or thereabouts, right? So game week 2. Okay, Coventry 35. Oh, Spurs 27 to be fair. So okay, maybe it's a little closer than I thought, but like that difference is significant. Like, I was more willing to go for Petrovic because I think the drop-off between 35 and 30 is obviously less so than the drop-off between 35 and 27. But man, look at this. 21%, 27%, 27%. Like, it's okay. But like, we can do better. We can do better. And like this season, I really do want to try and play as... Why is the screen not changed? Am I frozen? Oh, no, it's fixed. I do want to try and play as analytically as possible this year. Because I had a really good analytical season last season, but the points didn't come. So I want to try it again. Maybe even go even harder. But anyway, we've got a lot of super chats to catch up on here. It's crazy. Thank you so much, by the way, for all of the super chats and stuff. This really does help to support the channel a lot. And I'm sorry I can't answer some of the normal chats because there are just so many are coming in. But let's give this a go. So we spoke about Kinski already. Craig says Verts and Gross on bench boost 1 or Soboslai and Njai. I think I'd go for Soboslai and... Would I? Soboslai and Njai is safer and more analytical. Verts and Gross, I think, has the higher upside and is slightly more risky. So I think that is a question of risk appetite. If you want to take the risk, go Verts and Gross. But the sensible answer, and the answer that I should probably be giving you as a content creator is... Content, I hate that. An FPL content creator sounds less like I'm... I've got a secret link. But Soboslai and Njai would be my sensible answer to you. Start Verbruggen or Kinski. Definitely Verbruggen in game week 1. Hume replacement for 4.5 million. Again, depends what you're looking for, really. If you've not got Aya. If you've got a space for sure, then sure. Outside of that, you're probably looking at Rodon or just dropping down to a 4 million. 4 millions being Thomas or Van der Wijk if you're looking for a bench boost in game week 2, or someone like O'Shea or Davis or Greaves if you're looking for a bench boost in game week 1. Marsden says Sharda Lafay DCL bench 1. I would bench one of Sharda or DCL. I'd play Lafay though. I guess that the safest bet would be to bench Sharda because he's going to have less effective ownership. So DCL would be the guy to play in that case. But having said that, if you're going to own Sharda, I feel like you play him in Game Week 1, which is what I'm doing. Som says Rodgers and Szoboszlai or Solis and Mbermo Game Week 2 bench boost. I will say Solis and Mbermo. And Mbermo is like one of the most important players for the first few game weeks, in my opinion. Chivers says, hey Dan, on bench boost 1, got Bruno and Mbermo, Solis, 4th and 5th midfielders. 1, Njai and Sharda. 2, Lefay and Sharda. Or 3, Szoboszlai and Gomez. Or 4, Dango and Gross. I like... Could you go and Njai and Lefay? Is that too much for you? Like, as in, like, would that work for you? Or do you need that coverage for Game Week 3? In which case, I'm going to say Njai and Sharda. Jake says, bench boost 1. I like both of the first 2 options, though. Jake says, bench boost 1, Szoboszlai, Gomez, Rodon, or Muharamovic and Jai Gross. I like Muharamovic and Jai Gross more. So the second option, Jake. Let's rattle through the rest of these super chats, guys, and we can get back to the normal chats. Rage Lins again says best 6 million and 5.5 million midfielder for bench boost 2. Much love. Okay, so 6 million I've gone for Sharda and Gross. So I mean, like, yeah, if you want to follow along with me, I'm going for Sharda and Gross. I think they're really nice picks. And Deb says Hume instead of Ballard to get Solis in. Thoughts? I don't think it's worth the downgrade, no. I just think that Ballard offers you so much more security than Hume. And, like, arguably Solis is a slightly risky pick. Particularly if Arsenal sign another attacker. Solis becomes a little more risky, right? So you'd be taking on a lot more risk if you did make those changes, and that's not really something I'm comfortable recommending. Ivy says, why is no one considering Andy Robertson at 4.5 million? I think it's mostly because he's not going to get defensive contribution points. There's got to be some concern around attacking returns as well. Is he going to be crazy attacking these days? Is he that guy? I don't know if he has been that for a while, really. And the other worry, really, I mean, he might take some corners, actually, whilst Madison's and Pedro Porro aren't playing. Maybe Tell's also going to take some corners, I guess. But yeah, I think he's just clean sheets, isn't he? Really. And when a doggy is available, you start to worry about Robertson. So I think that's why a lot of people aren't super keen on Robertson. He's an okay pick. But as we kind of mentioned with Kinski, Spurs' clean sheet odds are kind of pretty mediocre. And if you're just looking for like a run-of-the-mill clean sheet odds, then fine. But if you can push to 5 million defenders, I think you can get, good value for money at that kind of price point. Craig says 917 likes. Come on, guys, get to 1,000. We've got to do it, haven't we? We've got to get to 1,000 likes. Liverpool new bid for Minter. So Gomez prob nailed. Minter's injured anyway, but yeah, Gomez does look really good for minutes. I've seen other streamers stop super chats. Should I be doing that? I don't actually know how to do that. To be fair, this is very highly unusual for me to get this many super chats. Highly, highly unusual. It's usually like 3 or 4 per 2-hour long stream. So yeah, it's not really something I've had to contend with. But like, I'm incredibly grateful. This is awesome. And it is helping support the channel a lot. So appreciate it, guys. Craig says, Verts it is, no Haaland, full kitchen sink thrown. Oh, go for it, man. Look, we're all taking our own risks in FPL. Jandy says, Captain Mbermo or Haaland. I think I would go for Haaland over Mbermo. Dan suggests Coventry midfielder for 5 million. I'd go for Grimes. Triple Krager says, why is everyone obsessed with Haaland? I dropped him, but still have 99. Yeah, and the analytics tools actually prefer no Haaland drafts. You're going to see a lot of the review shaggers drop Haaland from their team. I mean, we've already seen it. So yeah, those playing who super analytically will be dropping Haaland. It is definitely viable to go about him. So yeah, like, I don't think everyone is obsessed with Haaland. I think I've seen a lot of people drop him, but I think you also have to appreciate there is two sides to it. Yes, Haaland is no longer essential at that enormous price tag, but also he's the top scoring player in FPL every year. More so, he is unchallenged by Salah. He is going to be the best captain for most weeks in the season. There is very good reason to go with Haaland because he's like, why is everyone so obsessed with the guy who scores the most FPL points every season? You know what I mean? But like, I don't think everyone's obsessed with him. Eriku says, good luck this season. Best FPL content creator. I really appreciate that, Eriku. Thank you so much, my friend. Craig says, hi, Dan. Have you considered doing Lamans to Raya, Aya to Shaw, and Gross to maybe Gomez? I would do exactly that if Raya was 5.5 million. I wish he was. But alas, he is 6 million, so it's not possible. But I would love to do that. Who's better, Slater or Gomez? JH Edits, this is the answer to your question, finally, my friend. Who's better, Slater or Gomez for bench boost wildcard 4? Gomez is the better pick. Oh man, okay, I can barely keep up. All right, Nathan says, game week 1 bench boost, Lamans, Kinski, Mikolenko, Calafiori, Robertson, Diaz, Hume, and Mbamo, Cunha, Odegaard, Vert, Szoboszlai, Robbie, Petro, Haaland. Thoughts? I mean, Odegaard's a risky differential, but I quite like it. I don't know if I love double Spurs defense, if I'm totally honest, and I'd maybe consider switching out Robertson for Aya. You're actually going to get better clean sheets from Aya than Robertson as well. And you've not got any Spurs attackers, so that doesn't really contradict anything. Hume is okay. Ruben Dias, I think he'll probably play in game week 1. I do worry about some rotation with Gahey at a certain point, but I don't know. But the thing is, Dias is not really a DEFCON guy. He's not really an attacking threat guy. Is there an argument to go for Gavardio instead, who has like some set piece aerial threat there a lot of the time? Right, Dr. United says, love your content, keep going, ride or die with mate. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. We're gonna ride or die for sure with the triple Coventry defense. We're going all in. Anna Rude says, Van der Vaart or Thomas, and why? I would go for Thomas because I think there's going to be attacking opportunities in the whole game and maybe slightly less defensive contribution opportunities in game week 2 for Coventry. So yeah, I like Thomas. Best midfielder for 6 million. It depends what you're looking for, what you're trying to cover. For my team and my structure, I think Sharda probably works the best. But I think Njai works for bench boost 1. But like, you're looking for Coventry, so I'm guessing you're not bench boost 1. Enzo looks good for bench boost 1 as well. If you don't need it, well, looks good for bench boost 2 as well. But maybe you wouldn't want to play him in game week 3. So Enzo Lefebvre works well for wildcard 3. Why Sharda over Gross? More goals predicted for Brighton. Sharda will have a better goal share than Gross, you would imagine, though. I would say. JH Edits, thank you for the super sticker. RB says Njai versus Hinchelwood versus Gravenberg. Njai. That's an Njai for me. I think Hinchelwood is good, but you can get Gross for cheaper and Gomez for even cheaper than that. So if you're going for a Brighton attacker, I just go for the cheaper guy who has similar threat. Nicole says, any team leagues? I'm not seeing anything yet, but I will keep an eye out for you guys for any team leagues. I'm pretty confident with the Arsenal lineup at this point, though, if I'm honest. To the point where it's like, how much do we need? How much do we need leagues? Because all your key players are going to start. Why Sharda over Gross? Oh, wait, I already answered that. Okay, let's keep it moving. Nico Williams or Vuskovic? I would go for Nico Williams as long as you can cover him in game week 2 where he faces Liverpool. Just because I'm not sure about Vuskovic's minutes early season. JH Edit is still spamming the same message even though I answered the question. I can't believe it. Lucas says, Kinski, Van der Vaart, Antonio Silva, Enzo Lefebvre for bench boost 2. Antonio Silva is interesting because I'm not really expecting... He's not a DEFCON guy at all. Like, he's not going to get defensive contribution points. So you are just purely relying on clean sheets with him. If that's okay with you, then fair enough. Arsenal no longer a gold clean sheet. Oh, yeah, it's changed. The fixture thing is changed. Wow. Why is that? Has it dropped to like 49 point... sorry, 40... That's 54.9 or something. Must have, right? Is there really no way Petrovic starts? No, I actually think it's more likely Petrovic starts in Game Week 2 than not. I just don't want to take the risk on. All right. Have I finally caught up with my super chats? I think I have. Excellent stuff. Is it silly to leave out Szoboszlai? No, I think it can be done. Are we sure Calafiori will start tonight? The standard predicts Nkapie. Why? If the standard predicts Nkapie, I'm making a very swift switch of Lamens and... In fact, I might even get it loaded. Nah, let's just leave my main team on here. And I'm going to have a backup team loaded, ready to go in case there is a leak. And it'll be Lamens and Calafiori, Torreira, and Shaw. Yeah. So if we get a leak, I'm going to do that. Why Sharda over Lefay? Loved you during wildcard. It's just because I don't like Lefay in Game Week 3. That is the reason for me. And I want to make sure I'm covered for all of the opening 3 game weeks. We are like so close to deadline. By the way, like we're locking in for club game week 1 as well. By the way, so make sure if you haven't done already and you want to join my club league, use the link in the description to play club because we're locking that in. That game week 1 will be locking in for like in 3 minutes. Or wait, or does it lock in? That's a great question. Does it lock in at the same time as FPL? Really good point. Oh, no, it doesn't. Oh, we've got a little bit of time. All right, we can come back to that then. But that you can join at any point in the season, really. Bruno G out for 6 weeks. Oh, my word. Andy going with Haaland. Oh, he's going with Haaland. Danny, if you got my super chat. JH Edits, I've answered your questions so many times. What? The super chat didn't even have any text in it. It just says... I don't know, man. It doesn't say anything in it. I answered your regular chat. Murahamovic is a differential. I have Maguire and Ballard. Yeah, I mean, you could do. You have another one? Where is it? It hasn't arrived. Oh, come on. We're 1 minute. We're 1 minute till... Please, now send a £2 one. Where? It didn't send, my friend. Whatever... you tried to send, it didn't send. Freddie says, good luck, mate. Your team looks great. I'm copying. Listen, as long as you're happy to go down with the ship, then, and don't blame me when it goes wrong, feel free. But no, look, it's pretty high risk. It's pretty high risk. But I'm there for it. And we're going to go for a nice early... early bench boost. Okay, we've got... Have we got any leaks? Declan Rice starts. Kai Havertz starts. Saka starts. That's our leak. Yeah, that's all we got. Okay, we've got to assume Calafiori starts then, right? But yeah, Declan Rice starts. Saka starts. I think we're about to be locked in anyway, guys. We're like a few seconds away from deadline. 20 seconds. People still sending super chats. Why not go Calafiori and Solis over Szoboszlai and Ballard? I prefer my current setup. And like, look, there's no time for changes now. Guys, 5 seconds away. Are we happy with our teams? I'm happy with mine. No, I'm not using bench boost game week 1. We're locked. We're officially locked in for the new FPL season. Oh, my words. Oh, I need to stretch my legs a little here. We need to stretch my legs a little here. Oh, dear. Wow, 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 wow. Okay. Let's see what happens then. We're going to stick around, by the way. If you want to stick around with the stream, we're going to stick around until the teams are officially announced in 30 minutes' time. So we're going to stream for a little while longer if you want to stick around. We're going to do some other stuff whilst we wait. But we are locked. I should probably post my FPL team on Twitter. Let's do a screenshot on something else. Get a wider screenshot. Alrighty, hi guys. How are we feeling? How are we ready to go? Do we hit 1,000 likes? That's awesome. Okay, I'm going to take a screenshot here real quick. I know this looks bad right now for you guys, but it looks great for me, don't worry. Okay. What should I quote? What should the tweet be? Locked in for Gameweek 1. I didn't locked in for the new season. I'm going to sit down for a second, even though I'd love to stretch my legs a bit. Locked in for the new season. Locked. Last minute panic. Keeper. Switch. From Petrovic to Rushworth due to Bournemouth new keeper links. Triple Cov defense. Haaland and Bruno go hard or go home. And then we're going to put a bicep because I'm a very muscly man, as we can clearly tell. Said literally no one in the history of the sport. There we go. Actually, let's just let's put this here. I'm gonna say good luck, and we're gonna put a lucky 4-leaf clover. There we go. Gotta post your new team for the new season. There we go, guys. Lovely stuff. Alrighty. We've got another super chat here from Nathan Taylor, who says, "Legend, mate, all the best for the new season. We'll keep following the content." Thank you so much. I appreciate Nathan and everyone else here, all the members, all the super chatters, all the regular chatters, everyone who's been watching the content throughout the preseason. You guys are legends. You guys are legends. You literally, you keep me in a job. So let's, you know what? Box opener. We can do the football shirt opening. Right, but before we do that, can we get you guys to join my 21 Goals League? That's my real question. Can I get you guys to join my 21 Goals League? Because how many of you guys are there in so far? We've got 142 of you in so far. I genuinely think this is a really fun game. Let me show you how it works. No way Focus is going without JP. Crazy. So yeah, the code is in the description. I'll also throw the invite link in the chat as well if you guys want to play this. This is literally you do your team and then you leave it for the whole season. This is not, don't worry, and a lot of people are going to be like, oh, another thing we've got to manage. It's not that at all. It's literally just you build your team. The idea is you pick 4 players, try and get to as close to 21 goals as possible without exceeding 21. So it's blackjack, but football. It's fantasy blackjack. It's fun. It's a really interesting game. So I've made a league for you guys to join if you want. I've also got a league with my mates. I've also got a league with some other content creators. So I'm having some good fun. And the good news is, I forgot to say, I'm giving away a prize for this as well. Can you play it from anywhere in the world? Of course you can, my friend. It's not gambling at all. It's 100% free. Like it's. I know it's called like blackjack, but it's just like fantasy points instead of cards. That's all it is. You don't put any money in or anything. It's completely free. But I am going to give a prize away to the winner of a Premier League jersey of your choice. You guys know that I love football shirts and the FPL Mate channel. So if you want to just have a go, if nothing else, but just to see, I think this is going to be much harder than we think. But I want to see if anyone could get 21. If you get 21, you could win yourself a football shirt. So a little bit of fun for the new season. If you fancy giving it a go, please do. Sim says, thanks. I actually won my mini league last season using your strategies. Good to hear. Good to hear. Can you play it from anywhere in the world? Oh, we answered that already. Nice play on blackjack there. Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. Like this game, do not pick Haaland. Do not pick Haaland in this game because you will go bust. You will go bust. Where is this game? I put the link in the description, and also there's some links in the chat as well. Are own goals minus? I don't think so. I think it's just goals that are counted. That would be fun if own goals were minus though. But no, I think I've kind of cooked here. Because I feel like Gabriel will score 3. Rice will score like, what, 4 or 5? So that's like, let's say we're at 8. Dewsbury Hall and Cherky are kind of like 6 goals each type of players. Maybe 5 for Dewsbury Hall, maybe 7 for Cherky, something like that. So I think, yeah, I think I'm predicting this to get 20. And I'm hoping that we can get pretty good. I think maybe the better strategy might even be to try and go for like 17 or 18. I don't know. Oh, Fardine, I should say, because you said you go for a goalkeeper. You for your score to be valid, every player must score at least once. So I know people are trying to think of tactics, but look, everyone misses this secret rule. So pick 4 players closest to 21, but don't bust. All 4 players must score. So you have to have all 4 players score. Otherwise, yeah, Haaland and 3 keepers. Yeah, that would make the game maybe a bit easier. But I think this is what makes the game fun. Because imagine getting to like game week 38, you're on 20 points, and Gabriel still hasn't scored this season. And you've been playing, Gabriel, get me a goal this year. Get me a goal. Oh, dear. Chose Palmer, Rogers to Bruno and Gomez. Oh, in your FPL. Have you got a mini league? Yeah, I do have a mini league. The link is, I put the link on Twitter earlier, or X as it's now called. But also, there's a link in the description buried at the bottom. Oh, we have had a few more entrants by the looks of things. Let's see if anyone's name's showing up. Right. We got a few more. Yeah, Havertz starting today. Saka starting as well, which is a little surprising. Will we see Mrs. FPL Mate's team? She's not playing FPL anymore. She gave up a couple of years ago. She said it was too stressful because she felt like she had to do it every week. And she was annoyed when she didn't do her team and it did badly. So she just decided, this is causing me more stress than it's worth. I'm not doing it anymore. And who am I to tell her what to do? Marino, Eza, Rice, Erdegaard will score 21 between them. You know what's like a real interesting strategy would be to see if you can create a team, but like only or like a team on 21 goals, only using one team. We've got a few more of you guys in there. Yeah, so if you fancy playing that, do use the link in the description. And the other thing that I meant to talk about today is the club league that I'm also running. So I've also got a league on club for anyone who wants to join that. But like 21 goals is a new game. I'm very aware that everyone is playing club at this point. Like, I actually can't believe how many people are playing club. It's actually crazy. Let's throw that on the screen. So this is me. The only thing is whether I take Sharda or not, because he was offered to me. Make all my money, yes. This again is free to play if you want to join, and I have got a league. Where's my league? The FPL Mate League. Well, almost 400 of you guys in there, to be fair. That's not bad for a new league. Members League is going to be... YouTube Members League is going to be made for FPL as well. Dan, have you seen FPL Rockstar's tweet? I have not. Should I have seen it? Is it just a lineup? It's a little bit early for FPL Rockstar team news, isn't it? Oh, you've been boonered, haven't you? Oh, God. Oh, it's just a funny FPL meme. I guess so, yeah. You worried me for a second there. I thought there was going to be some big news. I'm not going to put that meme on screen, though, because there might be children watching. I don't need to see that. Or do they? Or do they? It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Okie dokie. So anyway, that's my club team. If you want to join my league, then please feel free. Feel free to join. Link in the description for that as well. How's mine so good? Mate, honestly, Banana, if that is your real name, I'm like actually addicted to this game. I'm like every single day I'm playing. I'm like, this is without spending. Actually, I spent a few gems today, to be fair, that I've been collecting. But who have I added from that? Hall. I added Hall from the gems that I used today. Like, it's just like addiction. What is club? It's like a mini fantasy. It's like a casual mobile fantasy game. It's like a mobile fantasy game. Like, but it's like insanely popular. I can't believe how many people are playing it. It's actually unreal. Like, I saw a lot of people talking about it last season. I was like, oh, I wonder what that is. Like, but then I've like fully given it a go this year. Fully going in for it. So yeah, like I'm enjoying picking up a few different like fantasy games to play on the side at the moment. But I think that's largely been because like this pre-season has just been so long. World Cup Club was good too. I didn't play it, man. I think it's because this pre-season has just been so long that I've just been looking for other games to play. But anyway, I promise you I had some mystery football shirt boxes unopened. I've been sitting on these for a while, actually. Let's see what we've got. Where did these come from? Someone sent them to me. Probably... There we go. Mystery Mr. shirt. Let's get rid of this label. Mr. Shirt. Founded in 2021. I don't know if they're any good. We'll find out. We'll find out. Okay. I did. When they sent me shirts, I made one request. I said, do not put a Spurs shirt in the boxes, please, because I'll just send it back. So presumably there's no, if there's a Spurs shirt in any of these, they're in huge trouble. But let's see here. Did I choose right with two Chelsea boys? Who are your two Chelsea boys, my friend? Who'd you go for? Right, I might do like a blind reveal. I need a place to put some rubbish. Okay. So, you're going to see this. I'm not. I'm going to look at the chat. Don't tell me what it is. When did you get married again? A long time ago. I'm closing my eyes. I don't know what this is. Did you even see it, guys? We've got to try and open this without. I've got my. By the way, I've got my eyes fully closed right now. That's why I'm like fumbling around. So there's a ziplock at the top. Okay, I'm gonna look at the chat, but not. Oh, someone says W. Oh. Okay, I'm still not looking, by the way, guys. All right, I'm gonna try and feel what the back is. So I'm just gonna look at the back and not the front. Okay, so that's the front. I'm gonna look at the back. Oh, I'm getting Mexican vibes from this one. Let's have a look at it then. Aha! Club Laguna. That is a Mexican side, isn't it? You know what? That's not bad. Hey, that's a W. Hey, we'll take that. We'll absolutely take that. Sweet. Okay. Well, first one's a W. Can we keep it going? Can we keep it going? With shirt number 2. Right. Numero 2. Santos Laguna. Mexican side. Right, I'm going to look at this one. I'm going to straight up look. I got yellow. We got something yellow. Oh. Yellow and... Who's yellow and brown? Hearts? Do hearts sometimes play? Yellow and brown? Acting like Christmas when you pretend to like what your mum buys you. Nah, come on, man. I love football shirts. Could be Arsenal? I think this could be Hearts. I don't think it's Hearts. It's got a star on it. Oh! That is so random. So this is a Swiss side, right? Servette? I love an Adidas kit. You know what? That to me is a W. I know that's not going to be for everyone's taste. Motherwell, yeah. That's not going to be for everyone's taste. But as like an obscure football shirt collector, to have like a little Swiss number in your collection, I don't mind that, and I am a big fan of Adidas kits as well. So that to me is a second W. Now, the lineups are out apparently, or confirmed. So we should probably head back over. Where are you seeing this, by the way, guys? And then I'm going to open the last shirt as well. Where are we finding this team? Calafiori starts. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Arsenal's Twitter page. Oh, wait, is it already? Oh, my God, it's that time already. I didn't realise. Like, we were already there. I was getting too excited about football kits. Rhea, White, Mascara, Gabriel, Calafiori, Rice, Lewis Skelly, Erdegaard, Saka, Solis, and Havertz. And I'd just like to remind you guys, if I speak, 11 out of 11. 11 out of 11. Boom. Yeah. Okay. Well, exactly what we expected. That's good. No surprises. No surprises, always good. No surprises is always a good thing. I put Noni. Oh, damn, no, I wasn't 11 out of 11. Okay. I was so confident for a second. What an idiot. What an idiot. Yeah. 10 out of 11. Not got quite the same ring to it. Not quite got the same ring to it. What a loser. But hey, still. No, I mean, look, the only player that wasn't in was that one player I said was high risk. So it was the player I least expected to start out of the 11 was the player I got wrong. So, hey, it's about as good as you're going to get. Call myself an Arsenal fan. Yeah, I know, I do. I've let myself down. I've let my team down. And more than that, I started gloating when I was completely wrong. Oh dear. We should probably look at Coventry as well. Can't forget about dear old Cov. Presumably the usual suspect. Is it Kitching or Amenda? It is Amenda. Okay. So we've got Rushworth, Van der Eyck, Thomas, Amenda, De Silva, Grimes, Onyeka, Urenki, Shawana, Thomas Asante, Sims. All right. Oh, Awani straight on the bench. Rudoni's on the bench. Rudoni, by the way, keep an eye out for him. He's a really good player. But he was kind of dealing with some fitness issues over the summer. I think when he comes into the starting 11, he's 5 million in FPL, by the way. He could be really, really interesting. Yeah, what's that format? That's a crazy way to display your lineup. But I mean, look, new to the Premier League, trying to get creative with it. Fair enough. All right. I mean, to be fair, it's better than a lot of teams that just do teams that do the lineups in number order is infuriating. So this is better than that, but it's a little bit wacky. They're trying to make a statement, aren't they? We're new to the Premier League. Look at our crazy way to display our teams. All right, guys, let's check out the third and final of the mystery shirts from Mr. Shirts TM. Okay. Struggle with that one a bit. Okay. We're gonna have a sneak peek. It's black. It's black. And the sponsor is Kutxabank. Where could that be? What could that be? Okay. May not be a W. This one may not be a W. We'll have a look. People saying Bilbao. Luton. I don't think it's Luton. If this is Bilbao, then this is a W. If this is Bilbao, I like that. I'm happy with that. Never owned a Bilbao. I've never owned any. Actually, I actually have several La Liga shirts, and this is one that I don't have. I have Barcelona, Real Madrid, Valencia, Mallorca, and Spain itself. This would be my, I guess, next La Liga shirt. So that's good. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, chat, this is a W. This is the biggest W yet. Oh my word. Yeah. I'm all about that. It's even got like the Basque colours on the stripes. Yeah. We like it. Although I can never play for them. The disappointing thing is I can never play for Athletic Club. I would have loved to play for Athletic Club, but they won't have me because I wasn't born there. They say that I would have actually made it professionally if I could play for the club I wanted to play, but I won't play for anyone else and they won't have me. I wasn't born in Basque County, so they wouldn't have me. Christmas jersey, I guess so, yeah. Some people don't like this one. I like this. All right. Okay, well, I'm happy with those. I'm genuinely happy. I'm a happy boy. Righty ho then. Sega background. That one, yeah, that's an Unreal shirt. That was like my holy grail football shirt for so long. I couldn't find a real one for the longest. I'm going to bring it over. Because this is like, when I was a kid, first started supporting Arsenal, I remember Arsenal playing in this. This is like 2002, maybe. And like, I like always love video games. So seeing a video game sponsor like Sonic the Hedgehog was like a Sega product at that time. And it was like, oh my word, Sonic the Hedgehog, Sega, classic. On the shirt, it's gold. This is the team. These are the boys. So I wanted to try and find a real one for years, and then my wife finally found one, and it was rather expensive, but what a gift. What a gift. That is my all-time favourite shirt, football shirt. The next one I want is... what is the next one I want? Maybe like the O2 one? Mr. Patrick Coakley say, "Are you putting on a bit of a belly on there? Time to hit the treadmill, buddy." Mate, honestly, I've been off my exercises, gym, whatever, for the past month because I've been so focused on FPL stuff. I genuinely have had hardly any chance to work out. But everything changes. From tomorrow, we're going to do a nice big session. We're going to get back on it. Now we're going to have a bit more free time. So we'll get there. Don't worry. But yeah, no, I genuinely have put on a bit of weight, which I'm not happy about. But we'll get it sorted. I had a Mega Drive with Sonic built into the console. Oh, now that I don't remember. That was a long time ago. But should we probably leave at this point? Fun fact, Arsenal had to wear Dreamcast as a sponsor for European matches. As Sega is an offensive word somewhere in Europe. That is an interesting fact. But I remember the Dreamcast shirt as well. Free time, need to start planning for Gameweek 2 straight away. Now, the thing is, when it gets to like week-to-week videos, I'm using the same templates. Like buy, sell, keep, avoid will be every week. 100 experts will be every week. Team selection will be every week. And also you're not having to research like entire squad structures. You're talking about bringing in 1 or 2 players at a time. You're using templates. You're using the same format each week. The pre-season content, and you're having to make like TikToks and stuff every single day as well. That's not going to be a thing when the season starts. You can get away with doing like 2 or 3 a week. So the workload during the preseason for me is massively like lower, which is amazing. But the preseason workload is crazy. Like I'm like I mentioned like very early in the stream, I was up until 5 a.m. last night trying to get this morning's video out. It's like, oh, but it'll get a lot better from here, which is amazing. What's your favourite Prem non-Arsenal kit? This year I'm not sure. Last year I really liked Aston Villa's. But yeah, don't know. I like the show and tell session. Yeah, I know. Honestly, I don't know why I'm still doing it, to be honest. I need to go and actually watch my team. Work must be so enjoyable during the preseason. It's enjoyable at the start, but when the preseason is a month long, it does start to drag on a bit. What do you think of the new Bournemouth kit? Let me have a look. I can't remember what the Bournemouth kit is. Oh, it's the one with the giant Vitality sponsor on. Honestly, this could be a really nice shirt if it didn't have that logo, because everything else about it I really like. Other than that, the neckline seems a little high. But yeah, it's not their best work. That I own? My best I don't think I only own like a couple of other Premier League shirts, non-Arsenal, to be honest. It feels like a bit of a sin to buy football shirts from the Premier League when you support a Premier League side. I do have a Brighton. Do I have anything else? I don't have any like Chelsea or Man United or anything like that. Yeah, don't know. Right, I think it's time. This is a terrible shirt, by the way. It's a terrible, terrible football shirt. The Solly March shirt I have. JVC Arsenal Silk Blue away. I know the one. I think. No Spurs shirts. No, I don't think so. No, I haven't made the jump. Relegation clubs are valid. Yeah, I mean, it also depends. I think if you have any kind of connection to a club, like I have some connection to Luton Town because my granddad used to like have a was fairly involved with the club, but and I've been to a fair few games of theirs, but they're not in the Premier League anymore. But that would be acceptable, I think. But if they were in the Premier League, but outside of that, I'm not going to buy an Aston Villa shirt or anything else, am I? The uniform that suits you best is the Japanese national team. You mean this bad boy? Wait, we need to go full screen again. And then I am going to go. I am going to go at some point. Oh, wait, no. That one? Or I'll do one better. That needs to go in the wash, actually. I'll do one better. Oh, where is it? Oh, too many football shirts, man. Aha, is that it? That's it. Okay. What about the Naruto Japan shirt? How about that? A little bit of customization. Okie dokie, guys. Let's wrap things up now. I do want to go and actually watch the football. I've enjoyed today, though. So thank you very much for joining me on the first deadline stream of the season. Hopefully, the first of many. I hope to see you guys back on the next one. I'm going to upload a video. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow or Sunday, but there will be a video at some point this weekend, kind of reviewing what we've learnt so far and what's next kind of thing. So, yeah, enjoy the start of the Premier League, the first game of the new season. Let's get stuck in. Let's play some FPL. Hopefully catch a few of you guys over on X and Instagram during the weekend as well. And yes, cheers, guys. Thank you for all of the support. You guys are amazing. And I will see you later, mates. Bye-bye.